All right, buddy, we're live.
All right. Well, hey, let's get the housekeeping out of the way that we always forget of the,
Okay.
like, thanks for listening bullshit. And like, if you like our podcast, comment and favorite it or do whatever is an engaging call to action through the platform that you listen to like, hype us up.
Yeah, we need a little hypage because we do this for free, other than the ads that I know some of you hate and have to suffer your way through. But that just makes Chris and I feel like we can afford the beer that we drank while we do this podcast. It is by no means sending any of our fucking kids to college, pets to fucking high end resorts, none of that shit. So, yeah, if you guys would be so kind as to leave us a review, good or bad, I think they all help no matter what. So
Absolutely.
help a brother out and get us seen/heard by more folks.
Yeah. And I'm sure if, depending on how we title this, or I'm sure a thumbnail or something, people will expect our guest, who should be hopping on any minute now, the one and only Mr. Scream Puff, who, for whatever reason, seems to like, I don't know, he weasels through that algorithm because he's like our number one listened to podcast and the two that he's done. So this is like going to be his annual. So we're
So,
gonna like make a thing about this, I think, like annual Scream Puff.
okay, dude, I was thinking about this today. I think we've had him 3 times. The first one was like real early on when we were literally just screaming in a fucking canyon. No one was listening, right? And then the next two were him where I guess, we had enough traction at the
Oh,
time.
you're
People were
right, because
catching.
that was like the 6 hour, and then the two of you stayed up like all night, like schoolgirls.
Yeah.
And then
So,
there was the other one that was like 3.5 or something. That was still a lengthy one. And I think I was in and out. There was something going on at the same time. So I'd like
you guys
come
were
back.
having a fire out back.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a bunch of, had some visitors in town or something like that. So yeah, we'll have to see how this one does.
Well, this is it because folks, Joe is our two most number one listened to podcasts, and I don't mean by like a little bit. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
When you look at this graph style, it's like, holy shit. So people are liking the screen puff. Now, when he comes on, we'll make sure we light him up a little bit on that because Joe's as humble as they get. And I want to watch that fucker squirm for a little bit.
There we go. Well, I've got a good little warm up story here. We're doing this really late on a Friday for anyone
Mhm.
who cares, right? So,
True Friday
eh,
night garage beers.
yeah. And we got a lot of time zones that we're messing with, like me being technically the latest. So, we're getting right at 10 p.m. for me, which makes it 8 p.m. for Gary, which is going to make it what, 6 p.m. for Joe?
Yep. We got
So,
four
we got a
hours spread
pretty
between
big
all of us.
spread here. But it's after 5 p.m. on a Friday for everybody involved, which is good. And in fact, I'm even having me a little cerveza here this
Nice.
evening as well. So yeah, we well, you remember the whole avocado bit for Halloween where I was like, fuck no, I'm not doing this
Oh,
couples thing.
yeah, dude. Okay, I'm so glad you brought this up because I was going through Brit's stories during Halloween and I'm like, holy fuck, she rocked the avocado.
Oh,
Oh, fuck, I laughed.
yeah. So obviously that was a hard no for me. And so last week she's messing around, I don't know, on Instagram or whatever it is, and she sees all these Christmas poses and I guess like some sort of deal at JC Penney for like Christmas pictures. So I'm like, I've already used up my hard no in reality, but then she sort of got me where she's like, "Oh, we can bring the cat. So if we book the last appointment of the day, they allow you to bring your pets in."
Oh,
And
fuck.
the irony is that dude, I don't know how many, let's call it 15 odd some years ago, more 20 years ago, when I was in Austin the first time, I actually somehow ended up volunteering for like a Petco. I dressed up as Santa so that people could have their pets pictures with me as Santa for the holidays.
Nice.
So somewhere in me, I was not a Grinch that year, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So we'll get the furry fucker ready. We'll grab our ugly Christmas sweaters that we had from before. And in fact, I tried to Amazon Prime him his own sweater for today, and it must have gone to like the third party delivery crew, because they're like, "Oh, we attempted to deliver, but we had a problem, which is my gate." And it's like 9 out of 10 times they just leave it at the gate. Like, I'm not going to give random Amazon drivers my gate code just to get the packages. It's like, we're out in the country here. Someone's going to be a package pirate. They're going to get met with a bullet. So normally we don't have issues. So, anyways, poor little guy doesn't have his sweater, but we got like his Christmas hat and whatever. So Brit's like, "Oh, what vehicle are we taking?" And I'm like, "Well, it's easier to take the Range Rover." And she's like, "Well, I don't want his hair, like, because normally we allow, like, if I'm driving one of my cars, I let him roam free, which some
Yeah.
hair gets around and shit, but he likes to look out the window and do cat things." So we put him in this backpack carrier, which we knew we'd need when he's in the JC Penney, anyways. Does great all the way there. He's curious during pictures. We get all the poses. Everything is fine. We get back in the car. She's got the backpack holder thing, and he's meowing and like he's done. He's had his, stimulation for the day, or overstimulation in this case. And all of a sudden, Britt's like, "I smell pee."
Oh no.
And I'm like, poor little fucker, right? So it's like, okay, he was yelping. Is it because he was pissed off? Did he really have to go? Was he just like, okay, you guys were exploiting me for these stupid
Right.
fucking pictures? I'm gonna get you back. So Brit's got on leggings and the sweater and stuff. She's like, "I can feel it." And
Oh
and I'm just
no.
thinking, like, so for me, it's like, okay, if it's on her and gets in her pants or sweater, that the sweaters are starting to fall apart anyways. So we're like, they're gonna get tossed out. Um, I'm like, just please, no pee on the interior, because I know who's going to end up having to deal with that. And of course, I knew we shouldn't have taken my car. And I'm like, "So it's okay if he pees in one of mine?" "Well, mine smells like new cars still." And I'm like, oh God, I'm just like, that's it. My lips are shut. Just, if it feels like it's going to drip, like, put it down. Cause she does have um, the like rubber mats. So like they're not,
Weather tech things or
yeah,
whatever.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're not like, the carpeted ones, so at least, because like cat pee is a dude, it's almost probably as
Rank.
bad as trying to get, like, cigarette smoke out, so pretty big ordeal. So whatever, it's sustained to her and her leggings, and, we get him home, and of course, it's like, well, poor little bastard was laying in his piss, so we bring him to the tub, gotta give him a cat bath, and then bust out the blow dryer. And it's funny, right? Because he doesn't get bathed very often. He's good with his grooming routine, and he turns into like this little wet rat. And
Right.
yeah, so whatever. I had to give him the whole blowout or whatever with Brit's little blow dryer, and he's doing good. We gave him dinner and everything
Oh,
else, and Brit's got all her shit in the wash. But I was wondering in her head, like, because I know how I get, because technically this was her ordeal and her adventure, and then it got pissed on, literally.
right.
So I'm just like, man, is she okay? Is she gonna be like remorseful, like she did this, or like, why'd I drag the cat out here? And
Yeah.
you know, I know she wants another cat too, like a little bit of succession planning, but I'm like, could you imagine if we had two cats? I'm like, twice the amount of pee. It's just sort of like, no, like one's good.
Oh, dude, what you were saying, whatever you do, just keep the piss contained to your clothes. Like, this is such a guy thought, right? Because it's like you instantly go to like solution, which is, hey, we can wash clothes, we can't wash seats, right?
Yeah.
Like if that shit gets in the seat, now we got real problems, especially cat piss. That's like punky fuel, like fucking varnish, right?
Yeah, and like you'll get
Oh,
rid of it like in a, I don't know, a cool setting, but it'll just take that first day of heat with the windows up
oh,
in the parking lot, and you open that door, like it's gonna materialize again. Like,
yeah,
not to say it's not impossible, but it takes a serious effort in order to get like cat pee, and especially like I think this was fairly concentrated stuff too. Like, it wasn't like he drank a whole bunch of water and it was diluted. Like I could smell it from the driver, and I was being quiet. Like I don't want to put any fuel on the fire. I'm just gonna get us home and deal with the situation.
right. Oh, speaking of rank pet piss, our dog. So I've had dogs my whole life. I might have told you this story before. We tried cats at one point in time, didn't go well. Those little fuckers were nocturnal, and me and my brother slept in the basement of the house, and they'd fuck around all night. And we're like,
Yeah.
Mom, we can't sleep. Like these cats gotta go. Anyway, so always been dog people, and I've any dog that I've ever had of the probably half dozen has always been the like, wake up in the morning, outside, do the 20-minute, sit there with the leg up, having a piss kind of dog, right? Or any opportunity they had to go outside, they'd take a piss. Anyway, the guy we got now, I mean, we've had him for what is he, 5, I guess. He, I think, must have like some sort of primal instinct that was bred into him where like he holds his piss like ammunition. I mean, you can't even barely get him to go out in the morning. He just
Mm.
holds his piss. And to your point about like concentrated battery acid for piss, that's what this bastard packs, man. Like anything he pees on is dead. I mean, within 24 hours. Like he pisses straight acid. Now, take him for a walk or do whatever. And I think this is that whole like primal instinct to his. He's marking territory, like
Mm.
with authority. You know what I mean? This is like meant to happen. And I guess he just has this ability to whatever, hold it until it's time to start marking territory. I don't know. It's the weirdest fucking thing.
Huh.
Anyway, same deal though, like the smell. I've got him trained. I found this all out when he was young. And I'm like, okay, buddy, I mean, we got to work our way through this because I like a nice lawn. I like a nice yard, whatever. You can't just go and piss on anything. We got to kind of map this out where you can and can't piss, right? So, anyway, he's done quite well with it. But to your point, come summer, right? And where he's been pissing in the gravel or on the bank or whatever, oh God, like gag a maggot. It's a awful smell, you know?
Right.
So
Oh.
yeah, I get that. My dog, for whatever reason, I don't know. Like I said, and the other side of it too is I don't know, I've never actually seen cat pee, right? Obviously, I've seen a wet litter box or seen something to that effect, but I've never seen like a pee stream from a cat. I've seen my dog's pee stream, and it is like orange piss. Like, yeah, I can't fucking believe we're getting into this topic, but I guess we're doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally get the rank smell, especially when heat's applied. It's not good. My dog packs cat piss, like just heavy duty, like Varsol piss. It's terrible.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of listeners that have pets and furry loved ones, or maybe bald loved ones. Who knows?
Yeah.
That can relate in some way, shape, or form. And yeah, there was actually this other Siamese that popped up recently for adoption, and very similar features to Mr. Meow. And Britt's like, "Oh, I'd allow him to be a shop cat for you." And I'm like, "Would you now?" And I was thinking, I'm like, well, the reality is if we did have said shop cat to not disrupt Mr. Meow, like I'd have to put down that garage door and he'd live within the office and the open area where the bathroom and the shower and stuff is when I'm not around. And I'm like, well, when I'm working and the doors are open, I'm like, he might go roaming around outside. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh no, I wouldn't be able to do it. So,
Right.
because like I don't want, it takes a while to train some of those cats. Like Mr. Meow took a long time to get him where he's at. And last thing I want, I've got like 3 sets of cloth Recaros sitting on the ground here. I
Yeah.
don't need those turning into scratching posts.
No, no, I think if I ever, well, oh,
The
I don't
shit
know if
box
everybody else
whisperer.
hears that. My man,
What's up, guys?
What's
how
up?
you doing, bud?
Fuck it. You know what sucks is when you forget your password because you don't use your computer enough, and then you got to go through
Yeah.
all this two-step bullshit that you set up because you thought you're being smart, and then yeah, that's fun. How you guys doing?
Yeah, all
Cheers.
right.
Good, buddy.
Cheers.
Salut. We'll drink to that.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Hey, so we did a little pregame intro for you, Joe, but I said that I was going to do a little bit of another one because I know how you are, and you don't like hearing people talk about your cars or yourself, but I'm going to because you are our 2 most listened to podcasts ever. And I don't mean by a little bit. I mean by an absolute fucking landslide. It's crazy. And
It was
funny
me.
enough,
I just had it looping in a bit. No, I was kidding.
totally getting those views up. Yeah, man. I mean, something
great.
about the screen puffs. So we're like, well, this guy's got to come on and spit some truths or whatever he does. And yeah, we'll see if we can do it again.
Now we'll just stop here and then see how it does.
Yeah. He's in and he's out.
Yeah.
So
no,
what's
that-
been going on, buddy?
It's fucking life, man. Yeah, the boy is a freshman in high school and he's playing quarterback for a high school team that's not even in our area. So it's been hell, but very rewarding. They asked me to coach after about a week of him being there. They asked me if I could coach the JV side, just a position like the quarterback position. So that's been like every day trying to finish up business by 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then, fuck, man, it's kind of nice. Oh, that's loud.
Did you echo on yourself?
Oh, it's the, did you guys not hear that?
I heard something real slight, but nothing
Okay.
like.
All right. Okay. It was like a loud, like a text message on the Mac thing here. But yeah, it was JV season, and then we were kind of helping with varsity too. And man, I guess for people who don't follow football, it's probably really boring to hear about this. But with 2 games left, the JV got folded into varsity, so we didn't have enough numbers because of injuries and whatever. So we've spent the last 6 weeks with Roman, my son, on varsity as a backup quarterback, and just coaching on the varsity side too. So kind of surprised a lot of people. I think we ended up getting into the championship game for the division, and
Nice.
we lost by a 2-point conversion. We went for it, we lost, but that was to tie it, and we pulled the same team. So we qualified for the state tournament because we had won enough playoff games, and got into the state tournament and played the same exact team we lost the championship to, which kind of sucks that you had to play them, again, but it is what it is. So lots of growth. Just crazy how satisfying coaching is. It reminds me of kind of like being, the shop manager guy, and still wrenching and teaching and just development of talent. And man, it's crazy. It's like cars, and you see the shit box car, but like Chris is, of course, how many shit box cars have you just changed suspension and cleaned up the interior, but then like the wheels, you leave it but you saw that vision, right? It's a visionary type mentality where, same thing when you see these kids, and it's like, dude, this guy can really be something special, because you've seen and coached how many kids, and you're like, man, I think you just continue us on this development path, and you're going to be something like really, really special. Don't worry. Like, everybody was like stressing out about how you are today or tomorrow or this week or this next game. But really, dude, you're a freshman. Like, life doesn't start till you get to varsity. And that's really when you got to make sure that you're on the right path. So, just getting them focused and the right mindset is everything with the sports, right? So, yeah, it was very enjoyable. It gave me a lot of, I guess, a fulfillment. It was tiring as hell, though.
Yeah.
So,
buddy, I'm glad to hear that you're doing shit like that, because, we obviously stay in touch, whatever, throughout the weeks and stuff. And you're a very intuitive fella. And I think that's like a massive plus. It's not just a plus. I think it's a must have for somebody that's going to try and influence kids in like sports or education or whatever it is. It's like, there's people out there that are doing the coaching thing and they really shouldn't. I hate to say that, because it's a volunteer position and whatever, but it's like, guys, we got to take ourselves seriously. Like, if you don't have a lot of friends or you don't fit in to like various circles and stuff, you probably shouldn't coach. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So just remove yourself and allow somebody else to come in. And the other side of this too is the people that you usually want in those positions, they don't want that position either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I've always said this about politics. Yeah, totally. Like, you're like, hey guys, no, I'm good, like whatever. But somebody else goes, no, Joe, you're the guy. Like, we know you're the guy. I've always said this about politics too, right? Like, we want fucking people in positions that don't want to be there.
Yep.
Those are the ones that are gonna like really carry the torch.
Yep.
And treat it like military service. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing this for your country, whatever. That's a whole topic in itself. But long story short, buddy, I'm glad to hear that you did that. And maybe you're going to keep doing it. I don't know. But yeah, because I think your intuitive, wired mind, you'll see those little tweaks for the kids, right? And like you say, some of them got all the skill in the world, but they're just fucked in the head. And you go like, hey, dude, let's go for a quick cruise or something. You know what I mean? Settle down. What are you doing? Like, you got broads on your mind? What's the deal here? Right? Like, just take it easy.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. It's a lot of that too. And it's just like, again, going back to like running a shop, you end up being like not just the manager or not just a coach, but become like the uncle, we're going to deal with that all night. I'm sorry. I can't find the remote for that stupid light.
You got the same shit lights I do.
I do. Costco special. But yeah, you're changing hats like every 5 minutes. You might have to be the coach, the janitor, the philosophizer, whatever. Like, there's so many things that go into like building people up, right? So and then I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this and do everything else. Like, people always say, "Hey, got a lot on your plate," and I always tell people like, "Fuck the plate." I threw the plate away. I have a platter and it's overflowing, and like, I need an extra hand to put shit over here and there. But it's funny because the season, we're wrapping up the season, and the coach who brought me in over there, he's a wizard. He's an offensive coordinator. He's been a head coach. He's had championship teams, but it's he brought me over, and he's one night after practice, and he was like asking me if I'll help coach the All-Star game, which is like all the seniors from all the different teams all over the island. And I'm just like, I don't feel worthy. Like, I don't feel like I have enough to offer. And I just told him, like, I mean, I kind of hesitated, and it's weird because, like, people would probably expect you to be like, oh, fuck yeah, let's go, baby. Like, and I'm like, like a little bit apprehensive about it. But I told him, like, I'll help. I can help. I'll try. He's just like, I don't trust anybody else. I have one more position, and I want to give it to you. And I'm like, I mean, I'm honored that you would ask me. I just don't see what you see, that kind of thing. But
that's what we all love about you, buddy. Humble.
Fuck, man.
Humble to a fault.
Yeah. It's can be detrimental in a lot of cases. That's like, like, it's funny because you got kids, we got kids. Chris, I know you got your cat, but I know you want your cat to be as humble as possible. But
Yeah.
but like, I think when my son was growing up, and I was humbled in sport. I was really, really good at football and baseball. I played basketball too, but I wasn't very good. I was fast and I could play defense and steal the ball. My brother was the scoring machine. He was a tall kid, and I was short and quick. But I was humbled. The first year I went out for football, I didn't know what to expect. And I ended up being like the best kid on the team. And I played quarterback, and I kind of, you have to learn how to be a leader and carry yourself a certain way. And my coach, first practice, I made this shoestring tackle, the first tackle I ever made. And I was like, I was pumped, and all the kids were pumped, and we're like, yeah. And he brought me to the side, and then, he's like, you're going to be the quarterback, because we're kind of trying everybody out and stuff. Like, you're the one that can throw. You're the one, you seem like you know what's going on. And he just told me, don't be a hot dog. And I was like, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. And I just laughed at him. I was, I'm a 9-year-old kid. I start cracking up. He's like, don't be a hot dog. You know what that means? And we kind of took a knee, and he kind of explained. And that just programmed me from then to just be humble. And so I always just let, there were times where I was like, boisterous in a way in a moment, and then quickly humble back down. But because you still got to be able to like allow yourself to have those moments in sports, right? So, but I think early on, I probably was a little bit too focused on the humble part with my son, to the point where maybe it even hurt his confidence level early on. That was something that I had to coach him and overcome that later, because in sports, I think Tom Brady said, like, you got to have a little bit of like, your self-confidence is very important, especially when you're not very good. So you got to be delusional, like massively delusional when you're young, until you start having that, your skills and your confidence and delusion should kind of do that or something like that. But
right. It's such a fine line though, right?
Yeah,
Because you don't everybody's seen the little fuck that doesn't hold the door for the granny,
right,
or whatever, right?
right.
And like,
Exactly.
I want to cartwheel those kids across the road. But
that's what I was worried about, right? So you
yeah,
to be humble and all these things, and then I think maybe just his nature, he would have probably already been that way anyway, But
you've talked about this before, like, and I mean, I think even though I've never been to Hawaii, any of the islands, but like, I think I've got a rough understanding of like some of the cultural things. And like, one of them is like, you'll get your knees knocked out from underneath you if you're holding yourself a little bit too high real quick.
Yeah, that happens.
Right. Yeah. Which is good. But to your point, at what point does it become a fault?
Right. Yeah. So that's just some of like the, when you're maybe in later elementary school, junior high, college, sports, whatever, especially like you see a lot of things have changed nowadays. You see a lot of, it's almost encouraged to be a certain way. And I'm kind of more old school, where I don't really like it. So, like the bat flips on the home runs and stuff like that. I guess it adds a little bit of flair to the game, but man, it's such a, I mean, like America's pastime. Oh, you're going to get the sister, but sad thing. Anyway, but yeah, it's you have like all of this. Sorry.
You're good, brother. I know what you mean, because like I see this happen in hockey. I think anybody that has like caught the tail end of the old school generation, so like call it our generation, right? Like the 40 to 50-year-olds out there. We caught the old school gen, which was just like the strong silent type. And then we've got this whole new gen, which is like the boisterous, maybe not flamboyant, but you know where I'm going with this, right? Like a little bit too much. And I know I struggle with it too, right? Like there's a quiet confidence that I think you want your kid or anyone that maybe you're coaching to have, but it's such a fine line between going too far with it, because all of us have seen those folks too, right? And you're just like, oh, that's not a good quality.
Yeah, exactly. So kids today call it cringe, right? This
Yeah.
that's our cringe. It's like fuck. We
Yeah.
used to call it like nails on a chalkboard or something. That's kind of you could use that as a blanket statement, but
Yeah. Well, dude, you can apply this to the whole reason we started this podcast too, which is these silly old cars too, right? Or anything for that matter. You know what I mean? Like if you're walking around, hey, look at me, I'm cock of the walk, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, okay, settle down. I don't know. I guess there's an ass for every seat. Maybe you'll find your group or your people or your whatever, but I know for a fact, dude, it was one of the things that you and I warmed up to about each other real quick, right? It's like, well, we always fucking laugh about it, right? It's like, oh man, nice car. No. Come look at this.
Yes.
Like, wait. You got to see this part of it. This thing's total shit.
Yeah. Even at the stoplight on the way home, it's hey man, nice car. Nice, clean. Oh, it's a salvage title. Don't worry. Like throwing yourself under the bus immediately. Like, fuck. I don't have to worry if I post something and Chris will point out my trim is crooked or the door handle is off. Or
he's always good for that.
Oh yeah. Some stuff I'll post on purpose. I'll see it in the video. I'm like, I wonder if he's watching my shit. I'll know because he has to say something. It's like you can't help it. It's just that's just how it goes. So I'm just like when I see it, I'm just like yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I get a bit of a sense of humor. I've been getting Gary with because actually he's been quite consistent with these memes and sayings that he's coming up with, all this nostalgic shit and emotional stuff. And I'm always getting him now with the nice GT body kit.
Dude, this is the part that I love about the community too, because it's like, you got lots of folks just kind of hanging in the weeds that maybe listen to the pod or maybe see the odd video or whatever, and they understand the context of it all. And as soon as I fucking go in and see these comments from him, there's 52 likes. I'm like, oh fuck. Right? This got to the listeners. Everybody's fucking in on it, Yeah. Hey, I was going to say this just before you jumped in there, Joe. Interesting little unfolding that's happened this week. No confirmation on this yet, but it's I would say if maybe a decent possibility. We might be able to get somebody on from Velocity Restorations, boys.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That would be interesting. Yeah. That would
Wouldn't it?
Was it Cody?
So I don't know them. It's actually a third party that's gone hey, I think I could maybe put this together for you guys.
Right. Because I met the main guy at SEMA. I'm pretty sure his name was Cody because he was right there with the car, and Phil from Roadster Shop introduced us. So yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt if we could get one of those guys on to try and clear up some of the air, which, like I said, all PR is good PR at the end of the day. That's what I say.
So. I know people are kind of like, oh my gosh, but I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest, because I saw right within 48 hours of SEMA, there was actually press releases that were done that I feel like they probably had done. And I think on purpose, they were throwing out the 400K number, even though that car wasn't anywhere near 400K, but just to the point where I'm pretty sure we'll come to find out, or who knows, maybe they'll deny, but I think a lot of it's, just clever marketing, PR, just
how
getting
much.
the word. Yeah.
Yeah, that had to. That got a lot of eyes on whatever they were posting or anybody else that shared it, right? So I know it seemed like a lot of YouTubers, like in our foxbody world, made videos about it or just reaction videos to it. So, like you said, all PR is good PR, and I think it's good for the community. I mean, look at that Martin Brothers car that you've been sneaking us shots at. Like, that's kind of crazy that level of work on these old fucking shit boxes, but who knows, there's guys out there that didn't think the old Mustangs, the classics, and even old Camaros and those old cars, they all rusted. They all were creaky and kind of shit boxes for their own time. They were just like these. They were mass produced, big engine, small car, or big engine, light car. And power to weight ratio wins in a straight line typically, right? So they're fun.
Yeah.
It's
Man,
very
I gotta
true.
ask, is that an upside down LMR logo? Like, is that how you feel about them?
No, it's a headliner, and I just threw it up there.
Oh, it's a box.
It's a
I thought it
box,
was
yeah.
like a sticker or like a fuse panel cover or something. I'm like, man, that's a statement if you stuck that on there upside down,
Jeez, Chris, that was really, really deep.
Yeah.
You're reading into that. Like, are you
Overthink.
down on LMR right now?
Well, funny enough, I'm getting ready to do a video on not LMR, but like Daniel Carpenter stuff, which obviously
Yeah.
I think everybody sells Daniel's shit for the most part, literally shit. But the one part that really always bothered me was the up the A pillar and across the roof line,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that molding trim is called. Like the passenger side never fits right. Like it always ends up folding underneath the body line. Well, I guess 2 weeks ago, I get a random DM from, and I'm sure both of you have probably heard or seen of the guy. It's like Dana, like something fighter pro something. He's got like a gray GT on Maker's wheels,
No,
and
I thought you were
nice
gonna say
car.
Daniel Darpenter emailed you or something like.
No. So he's like, hey, did you know that these exist? And it's that trim piece made by, what the hell is it called? Fairchild?
Is that the
one
Rock Auto stuff?
What's that?
Is that the Rock Auto brand or?
Yeah. That actually I had already found out that the window run channel moldings that they make are like the best ones that you can get out there. Like they're soft, they fit good, whatever.
Yeah.
So apparently they make that trim. They make the ones that go on along, your window, on top of the door, and they also make the cowl panel. So I'm like, well, thanks for putting me on. Like, I'm like, dude, I'll order those up and I'm going to do a comparison. So I ordered everything. So it's all sitting in a box, and I've got a bunch of Daniel stuff so I can do the compare and contrast.
Nice. Did you get a peek at it already? Do you kind of know?
I like glanced, but like it looks good. It looks good, but who knows on the fitment side. But it does come like, the little retainer clips that usually like the butyl is kind of always nasty around. It kind of like it's a pressure fit to hold it up in place. Those are all pre-installed, and they actually look like they were pretty good quality. So I'm nowhere near. I don't have a forecast. I can't tell you guys whether they're good or bad, but I'm excited that at least there's an alternative.
It's funny that run channel weather stripping stuff. I don't remember. I remember hearing it from you. I just don't remember when, but it was quite a while ago. And then I may have been just listening to the pod, and I went on my phone. I ordered a whole bunch because I'm like, fuck yeah, because one of the Cobras I put the Daniel Carpenter or whatever the other one is in, and the window, it always just bothered me that it doesn't fit good. I ripped that shit out and I put
it good, and then sometimes your window won't even go up. It'll bind
you have
your
to
window.
help it or whatever. And I'm just like, dude, I've been doing this long enough that I'm looking at everything. It's lined up, and why is it? It's like it's pinching the glass too early or whatever. Like, So it could just be a quality control thing. But yeah, I threw that shit away and I put the other one in and it works perfect. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
know, I just, not that it's all junk, but it could definitely be better.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that they're still making parts for our cars. Could be worse, right? But
What bothers me is that my understanding of DC is that he has all the original tooling
then why
and
is this
all the
stuff
parts are
more precise?
made. Yeah, so it's like, just do better. Like,
Yeah.
if you're using the original stuff, which is great, that means like fitment should never be an issue, or the look and feel should be that. Well, then just use the product that needs to be used to have the end result.
It
Because
might come down to materials. His material choice is poor because he's trying to be cost effective and make it affordable, but I think most of us would pay, for like, what are those window weather run channel things run like?
Oh, they're cheap.
They're cheap. I mean, charge us 25 more bucks and put it in a better material or something,
yeah.
I mean,
Well, even
people
whatever, even the quarter glass windows, you know what I mean? Like, and it's all coming back to me after I saw that Velocity car, because all of that stuff was all the DC stuff, and it's like, okay, you're paying 280K for a car that's got siliconed in rear glass, like,
yeah.
you know, unacceptable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of
It
weird.
is weird. I actually I knew that those conversations surrounding that car were gonna like touch some nerves for sure. I think like at least I went into it trying, or at least had the intent of being like, hey, let's look at this from all angles and whatever else. I'm sure our personal thoughts and theories maybe got a little strong at times, but the thing that I found the most interesting about it, and it's always weird. I enjoy hearing from folks, but it's always weird for me when you hear from somebody and they almost like took the context in the wrong regard, and you're like, fuck, like was I that bad when I tried to explain that or whatever? And anyway, one of the things that I heard from somebody here recently was, hey, like, you really shit on these cars a lot during that conversation. And fuck, I'm like, listen, man, I mean, my whole online existence is about these fucking cars and how much I love them. And anyone that knows me or has listened to any of my shit knows that I'm fucked in the head. I would not sell my car for like life-changing money because it means so much to me. So like, let's just start there. Okay. Like, I'm not saying these cars are shit. However, I really struggle with, and maybe this goes back to the whole humble nature thing, but I really struggle with putting these cars in the like 69 Camaro category. I know that maybe that's the way they're going, and I will be very excited if they ever do. But the way that I know these cars, my fucking monitors that I'm looking at you guys through are sitting on 5 mags. Guys, I've got thousands of the fucking things. You know what I mean? Like,
But
I've been
that's
doing
just like,
this for a long time.
I wouldn't even take it personally. Like, they are shitty cars.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right?
They
And
are,
that's what I
like,
love
come
about them.
on, the ashtray doors broke, like, the first week in, like, the door handles snap off, like, they're the easiest thing to steal, like,
The
dude,
armrest.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's why
like,
they,
there's
that's why
so
they make it
much
the
stuff.
plate,
The gap sucked from factory. There is, like, you could go on and on and on about, and they were. So, when we have those conversations about how we cut the wiring harness and whatever, used wire nuts to wire in the radio back in the day, like, you you give the car technically the quality of work, of which is that direct ratio of what the car's value is. Like, you don't treat a Fox body the way you treat a Ferrari. You just don't. And now we're getting into this weird, I don't know, like, the curves are going sort of like
Yeah.
what Joe was referring to earlier about being delusional in your skill set or whatever, like, that is starting to happen. Like, the video I did with Martin Brothers, they were just finishing up that Nova. And Joe was like, man, this was the shittiest car in Chevy's lineup when this thing came out. And look at, with a 6-figure
Yeah.
paint job on it. And, Adam was making the joke. He's like, yeah, this is sort of like the Spark. like the new Chevy Spark. Like that's what that Nova's equivalent was back in the day. So, and now here's a masterpiece. So sort of same thing with the Fox body. You know what I mean? Like there's still enough shitty, average Foxes out there, but at the same time, there's some really nice ones. And I think that level of expectation, that's why we're all, I don't want to say upset, just maybe a little frustrated as enthusiasts towards this Velocity car, because the build is nice. It is a really nice car. The paint is nice. Yes, it's on a chassis. It's all these things, but it's like, as the enthusiast of a Fox body that is like, okay, this isn't a $10,000-$15,000 car or a, $50,000 build. So now we start nitpicking, and rightfully so, because we know where all the weak points are and everything else. Like, I genuinely think that Velocity car, you could take it to where it needs to be with just like, you wouldn't even need to put that much more into it.
Right.
Like, take all that trim off, put the proper re-injected quarter horse glass quarter windows in it. Do the few little things like underneath the hood, like the bumper supports and all the little bullshit, the radiator tie down, like add the maker's garage new piece and all that stuff. Fix the stance up a little bit, do a few things. Like, what's throwing, call it $50K, which it shouldn't even take that, but let's just say you throw 50 more K at that car. I think the justification level would actually supersede where it's at now in terms of the price tag.
Yeah.
At least that's my thought.
Now I'm curious if it was like a previous customer who maybe they've had, $300,000-$400,000 builds, who has different type of vehicles that brought them that Fox body, or maybe that's the son's car or a family member or something like that, or they just wanted to do one of those that brought that car in to to Velocity, who's done work for them before, and said, like, let's do one of those big builds on this car. And maybe that's somebody of money that really it's just you pay them along as they go, and you kind of have it all planned out what you're going to do, what they're going to put on it. And I don't know. I'm curious if I'm thinking that might be what happened there.
And it's SEMA, right? Like, did they have enough time to do the little button-up items underneath the hood that could have been done? Like, obviously, the trim and stuff, just bad choices. But, were they rushing, like you said? Was it a different circumstance that translated into this? Or was it just like, listen, guys, we just need to go to market. Like, we need to be the first that's on the chassis. They're probably working with Roadster Shop on it, obviously, being able to meet that deadline. It's like, if I was Roadster Shop and I revealed, same thing, someone better have an IROC next year on the new spec chassis for that Camaro, like the skeleton that was revealed this year. Like, you kind of want that. So there's lots of moving parts to this that are probably bigger than us, or you know what I mean, at least outside of the scope that we understand or that we know. And like, no doubt, like, is there a market? Well, I know me and Gary kind of differed a little bit. We were trying to like break down the, what are the build points and prices of these ultimately. Like, the 400K number that's floating out there is a little crazy.
Yeah.
And like, especially if you see that car and then you think that, and then it's like, okay, well, where's 400K at?
I did see that respond to one of their Instagram posts. Somebody had commented, and one of Velocity's responses, I think it said 279,900. I screenshotted it. I didn't go look for it, but I just thought that was interesting. So I think the 400K, maybe that was just people, it was like the rumor thing, and it kind of just like kept building up or whatever. But even for 280, that's, I think you guys even went over that type of pricing and tried to break it down on one of the last pods, and it still seems like quite a bit. But then again, I'm not a high-end shop that's putting out $500,000 car builds. I'm trying to save these little piece of shit Fox bodies from rusting out on an island somewhere. So yeah. And I'm still trying to buy them dirt cheap, like 2002 prices. So
true.
Hey,
What-
by the way,
okay.
speaking of dirt cheap trying to save stuff, what's going on with my Royal Blue GT?
It's marinating.
So,
Rusty.
hey, is that your fingers on the table?
Oh, sorry, it's on the red. I'm actually on the red Cobra with some towels under it. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, it's the Cobra echoing. I'm like, fuck, I can hear like drums.
I had a vision that Chris was going to ask me exactly what he asked me, so it's hilarious to me. That's why the fingers started going crazy. I knew it was coming. Oh yeah, yeah. It's sitting in the back there, chilling. I haven't been able to touch the cars. Obviously, I haven't seen much work being posted. Just stupid memes and just trying to keep it fresh and keep my sanity. But yeah, there's priorities. Of course, the family comes first, and the sports thing is kind of big. But now things are slowing down with that. I have maybe a few weeks to kind of jam some car stuff along with keep my business alive.
Yeah.
So I have that black GT. Me and my friend Chris, we put the heads cam intake on it, put the Pro Charger back on it. Now I'm turning my attention to the interior work. Somebody did a bunch of restoration work in there. Like they put the TMI seat covers on, but the original seat foam was all deteriorated. So it's all, sloppy, it's saggy, all that. It's like, it's kind of frustrating, but so those are out. I put the Corbos that were in screen puff in that car and they look really good. Those are those LG1, the wide ones. And I think I'm just going to run the stock Tweed, which I'm really happy that I just sat on those seats for years and years because, not pun intended, but they were stored. But
Yeah.
It's kind of nice when you see this kind of, it is a little bit radical. It's loud. It's obnoxious. I feel like a little kid driving that car. I drove it 2 or 3 days this week. And I'm just like, people are staring at you and you just kind of pulling
Yeah.
up. It's loud. It's fucking stinky. It's the whole overdone.
Experience.
Yeah. So
So how many
Anyway.
Fox bodies do you have right now currently?
9 Fox bodies. Yeah. It's 9.
I
Yeah.
think you probably have me beat now, man.
Nah. Did you got rid of the strawberry one, yeah?
Yeah.
Strawberry. Yeah, I was a little bit sad about that. I like that car.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
I think, I think for that car, I think that was my favorite. Yeah. As weird as that is, you have some amazing vehicles, but yeah, that I say vehicles because I like your Viper truck and stuff too. But yeah, that was a nice car.
Yeah.
Well, that was
it's
the no
sort of
grief
in the-
workhorse.
It's in
too,
the circle. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the circle.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it auto? It was automatic, right?
No,
Or
it was
is
a stick
was
car.
that- Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good.
But the
I would-
forgiving stick, the stock stick.
I
just
would have
the
been less
fucking-
sad if it was auto. That's why. But just that was a nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's are you getting out and screen puff a little bit, buddy?
Yeah. I drove it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I drove the Red Cobra yesterday and today. So I've been driving the Raptor because I got to go drop my son off, and it's like I got to drive halfway to town to drop him off for school. Come home, park that on the street because the garage has too much stuff in it right now with the 2 cars and her stuff. And then taking a Fox body. So it was kind of cool when you asked if you wanted to come on because it was like a blessing because I've been driving the car. So you guys must have heard them or felt that or something, right? So
Yeah,
how-
we're picking up.
yep, it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's good. How's old screen puff? Is the newness wearing off, or is the paint still got you a little shy?
Well, when I was putting it back together, I put a small little chip in the paint on purpose so I could. That's no. I did do that though accidentally, but yeah, I kind of kicked myself. You can't really see it unless I show you where it's at. Chris would see it on a video, I guarantee though. But what is that? You should get that touched up. What the fuck? But it's yeah. I still, it's not complete. Obviously, I have no rear interior in it. The panels are right there over my shoulder. I got a set of gray panels to cut up from a parts car because I want
For the
to make
tubs.
it stock inside. And so with some trimming, I should be able to make it look stock with the rear seat and everything in there, with the Detroit Speed stuff in there. So yeah.
What's oh shit. Fuck, am I drawing a blank on his name now? Todd. What the hell's he doing in his Emerald LX?
I don't know. He just spent like a month building a radical, beautiful, like piece by piece pie cut exhaust. Which, dude, man, that takes some fucking patience. That's what I'm doing next. Like, that's gonna be the next thing. And I'm just like watching him, like, holy shit. In my time, it's gonna take like 6 months. You know, like, and there's no way I'm getting that done that quick. But I love how he did everything, the connectors, everything he used and stuff. So it's like it's kind of like you see that, and it inspires you a little bit to get, you know, the itch again. So that's kind of I got tail pipes on the car. It's so incomplete without it. So
yeah, because I know I don't think anything has changed on the interior side of things. Like at Pitts last year, he had no interior in it, but had the tubs and everything all done. And then I know he whatever for the last little bit, because he's a family man too, and fucking work and everything else, right? So got the exhaust done. That crazy fucking brake line system he's been working out too.
Spent time in the garage at night.
Right. But I mean, to the best of my knowledge, at least guys that are like fairly consistently doing the social media thing, it's you and him that got mini tubs on a hatch style car. So you think between the two of you guys both aren't fucking, between the two of you make like a half-ass dumb fuck, like intelligence wise. So like you should be able to figure it out, right?
I don't know. That's awfully generous.
Yeah, get the rear plastic situation sorted out and let me know, so that way I know what I need to do with this Cobra.
Yeah, I have some people that have asked like over a year ago. I'm like, yeah, get an interior back in it, and I'm like, oh fuck, I haven't done anything. You know, like I found the parts that I need, because I was gonna cut up the originals, and I'm like, fuck that, dude. Let's be a little bit smarter. And then, you know, we had, I think,
especially beige, dude. Like fuck, you can't cut those.
I get shit in beige. You know what I need in beige? You know, the front seat belt receptacle, the plastics. All mine just started cracking and breaking into pieces. I need to find beige ones. I don't really paint stuff, you know, but
maybe Chris or Foxbody Parts could find them somewhere.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe might have them.
True, but fucking beige, right? Like that's like fucking finding diamonds on the sidewalk. I mean,
yeah. Well, I think they use the same plastic sleeves on, because I have like the GT interior with the big ass headrest, and then, you know, like the base LX still use the same if you had the tan, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Well, I would hope. That means there's a chance I might find a pair that's in good shape. So
maybe.
It's a custom car. Why don't you just use black sleeves?
I could. Nobody's really gonna see it, but I do want to put some Recaros in there, and I'm thinking if I might send the guy that's out of country my seat cover, like the passenger seat cover, and tell him make this exact tweed if you can, or something super close to it, because that's part of the charm of when you open the door in Scream Puff is that 1989 fucking plaid show. What the hell? And it makes people, as you know, you pull into like the cruise night and whatever, people are looking at the rear wheel side, you know, the tires and all that shit, and they're looking at the big ass brakes, and they're like, oh, this is carbon, that's carbon. And they stop and look at the stock seat more than anything else, and they're like, what is that? And they'll come find me, and it's like, hey, is that original? It's like, yeah, it's original. It's like, out of everything on the car, they asked me about the fucking, you know, shitty ass seat, but showstopper, bruh. Showstopper.
Like, so the seat pattern is important. Interesting.
It seems like it.
Me and Gary were talking about this earlier. There's a little inside thing about patterns on seats.
Yeah.
And
I
think,
with Scream Puff, like, I mean, you could probably like really damn near do anything. Like you could get a little bit outside of the box wild with some sort of I don't know, like old school plaid, or you know what I mean? Like play off of
Actually,
that whole beige side of things.
you know what you could do? Because there's a pace car pattern that's
Mhm.
more like yellowish that would probably go really well.
That's true. Huh.
And that one's actually, I think you can get it through TMI or whatever, because there's like the white and black pattern, and then there's the blue one, and then there's like a yellowish one. And I feel like the yellowish might be your answer, because especially if your bolsters were black, then of course, yeah, you could do the black seatbelt sleeves, and then like you could have this crazy cool theme going on.
Is it like, okay, I think it's this, is it like a herringbone almost looking something? Almost like if you look at it too long, you get dizzy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, there is a yellowish one. 79 had yellow, looks like. Oh, that is kind of nice, but man, it's fucking wow.
Is that the, what do they call that? Houndstooth or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. Let's
Yeah. I was almost thinking, like when I was saying plaid, I think in my mind I had, you know, that whole Recaro pattern of like orange through, like it kind of shifts shades of orange
They're like
through the center
strips.
section.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like purple, red, orange, like the whole like a sunset spectrum.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Shit. Maybe my mind's blocking the purple side of things though. I thought actually, you know who has a seat like this is Foxy Brown, Jesse's car.
Mm.
He's got those Recaros that have the different blocks.
I thought you just saw the post, because Recaro Seats for Sale just had a post up of that actual theme, like
pattern,
listed, yeah, like available to buy it now. So Joe
right?
could just buy those right now. They're already done.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea I had in my mind. It like for
I mean, I
some
did.
reason I was leaning towards orange. Yeah, maybe you did.
All I keep hearing is my fucking wallet crying in my back pocket. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Shit, you could, I don't know, play off the whole tan theme a little bit, and orange would work great. You know, whereas like that's not really a color that's going to work with too many other paint colors out there. You know, well, Jesse being that, I don't need, what is that, like a root beer color or something, right? But he's playing in that brown, tan, whatever end of the pool, right? And so are you. So yeah, it'd probably work nice.
where the wise don't go swimming in the brown tan part of the pool. Hold on real fast.
And then the big brown shark came.
Oh,
Yeah, that could be a fun color combo to play with in the old screen puff. What does Robert Miller have in Wicked Stepsister? Or
He's got
hell?
black Corbos, I think. Doesn't he?
yeah. I remember there being a lot of black in there, like black
Are
with
they the
like
ones-
aluminum
Hole
and billet stuff.
rivets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some kind of like Hans-looking device thing around it. I think one of those like how you set up a drift cockpit.
Yeah.
That car is.
And then what about Sandy, the car we never see it? Well, fuck, we don't see him on social media at all anymore. But what does Sandy have in it?
Sandy has, I think LG1s wide, LG1 wide, I think, because he did like a two-tone interior, and I don't remember if I had him first or he had him first, but we were kind of going back and forth. Dude, like, I love Robert Miller. He's such a down-to-earth guy, man.
Oh yeah.
I think, like his kid going through football and stuff. I was kind of watching that a few years ago, like, oh man, it's probably going to be, and he kind of was stepping away from social media a little bit and stuff. And so, it was interesting kind of watching that. And then his son, I think he was on the verge of getting a scholarship or something. I think he's coaching. I think his boy is coaching college, I think. And he's so young.
That rings a bell. I think he might have told us that the last time he came on.
Yeah, I know he was putting in his like Instagram stories and posts and stuff, but man, Sandy is a car that was one. We were talking, I think we were texting back and forth one day, and kind of came up where he was thinking about selling it, and I'm like, dude, no, don't tell me that. Like, And I was like, we were kind of like getting to that point about talking about price, but I'm way too like subdued, and so he's the same. So we never got to talk about a dollar amount or anything, and he didn't want to be.
Nobody was getting laid in that conversation.
No, it was just a bunch of like, love you too, like rubbing the leg, And
yeah.
So I was thinking, man, that's such a special car. I was thinking like, shame on me for even entertaining that. Like I should be just encouraging him to keep that car forever. Like that's kind of like where I backed off. I'm like, fuck that, no way, dude. Just I hope he never has that conversation.
Yeah, I'd sell that piece of shit too. Fuck me. You don't want to be bothered with all that bullshit, the noises, the squeaks, the whatever. Yeah, you better get rid of it. Cheap too, cheap.
Yeah, dirt cheap. Yeah. No. So, and I was thinking like, I'm not made of money, so like for me that car would be one of those cars that it's always going to be his car. That's the other thing, right? So it's never going to be named something else. It's always going to be his car. I'd probably only change wheels depending on what he sold it on, and I wouldn't want to change much after that. And then it's like, then how much do you really enjoy the car when it's somebody else's build? So
yeah,
I think even for me, like some of the cars I put together that I've sold, I always left so much on the table that, hey, this is what I've done. This is what's good about it. This is what's bad about it. And the people that have purchased cars that I've let go, they get to go on and do whatever they want to do with the car still. Like I try to leave enough, meat on the bone where they can have a meal, so like
when's the last time you actually sold a Fox though?
That's not what we're talking about right now, Chris.
Like, are we talking like 10 years ago or something? Like, I just
no,
I'm not following.
It was sooner. It was more recent than that.
I think Cobra, right?
Yeah,
Mama's Cobra.
Terminator. See,
well, it doesn't count.
Oh, it doesn't. Fuck.
It's a Fox.
Fox. Yeah. Okay, I think it was if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the black coupe on ponies, motherfucker. Not even they were LMR ponies.
Oh, right. Even worse. Yeah, exactly. Cringe.
Yeah, that car.
Hey, I got a mint set of Mavromonts sitting here off Medley's old car. If you know anybody who wants.
Put them on the Stalker Vert. Let's see it. I dare you.
No, they're 4-bolt.
Oh, do a 4-bolt? You have 4-bolt parts laying around, I guarantee it.
Yeah, my white notch. I'm just going to go ahead and put those on.
Do it so we can shame you.
Yeah, the white coupe got a body kit on it too. Yeah, you could do all the wrong things on that one. Dude, maybe people would love it.
Man, I gotta say,
ponies.
Gary, I don't know what it is. I feel like the wind is starting to blow in the other direction a little bit as of recently. And I don't remember if we talked about this on air or off air, because remember I always said I posted the silver car on TikTok and I was getting like all of these more like Euro based people that love the look of it. Well, then I posted that video of actually Joe Martin from Martin Brothers looking at the car, going around it, and there was tons of really good stuff there. And Radwood last weekend managed to take home Radis Domestic, which yeah. So, and man, like the amount of feedback and everything else, and then Paul's car, the red Detch that he built at Foxtoberfest, like I haven't really heard anything negative about it in many regards. Like people saw it as a really nice car and everything else. So not to say there isn't still fuck body kits on coupes, but part of me is like, I don't know, maybe things are turning over a little bit. So I meant to ask you, because all these posts that you are doing with, the Green Dragon in the back, like how's aside from the GT shit that people confuse that, but have you noticed any other changes, generally speaking, about the body kit?
No, and truthfully, like I'm with you. There's more good than bad, but we all know how that goes, right? Like it takes one drop of poison to fuck a whole punch bowl up, right? Now, that said, the thing that I get more often than not isn't so much the whole body kit. Like, don't get me wrong, some of that stuff comes through too, but it's the rear valance. It's like, love the car. Actually, I've been getting quite a few of these lately, right? Like the whole shit sandwich. It's like, really love everything, can't do the rear valance, right? But to each their own, right? It's always this kind of
But
shit
nice car,
sandwich.
buddy. Hey, great.
Yeah, love the car, but
And what is it about the rear that people don't like? Is it like the mufflers? Like, do they confuse
it's-
it for like a GT bumper with cutouts
It's
for
false.
exhaust tips?
yeah, that's where most people land on it, right?
So
So
that's crazy because I kind of like, to me, that's the best feature is that there's a bumper on there that actually facilitates, a nice
Yeah.
clean exit.
well, that's the thing, dude. And where I was kind of going to go with this is I'm like, I wonder if if we had, say, two of the exact same photos, say front quarter angle, and then we had like two of the same photos rear quarter angle, like, and somehow we're able to get the same amount of fuckery from the shitheads out there. The comment on the post, right? Like, would they maybe look past the Dutch kit because, like, it's sort of just a little about a 3/4, allowance of, or can you? Does it? No. Does the bottom of the tailpipe show? It doesn't, does it?
Depends how
It
big
pretty
your
much
tips
doesn't.
are.
Whoa.
Well, it always does, right? But hey-oh.
Stop wearing those tight pants.
But yeah, whereas my kit for sure, the whole thing comes underneath the tip, right? But Dutch is I'm trying to think a way to keep this classy, but
You're not gonna walk this back, buddy. It's the tip's out of the bag.
Just the tip.
Yeah.
So yeah, whereas Dutch, the tip fits up in there versus my tip's going straight through. Oh fuck! This went right out the window.
Easier to conceal than others, I think. That's what it is. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, for sure. I definitely like there's more good than bad, right? But
Yeah.
it's really weird how, like, the human nature, right? We just
Exactly.
you get one. Oh man, you get one or two, and you're just like, fuck you, buddy. Like,
We're programmed that way to protect ourselves. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all it is.
I know, right?
Yep.
And then you throw the online angle in there, which is like, whatever. Way more people than us, like, tribal creatures are meant to deal with or appreciate. And it's like, like, it's too much.
Yep.
So anyway, more good than bad. I'm with you, bud. I think it's neat. Like, there's still the ones I always love getting are the, like, holy shit, I've never seen a body kit on a coupe, right? And like,
Nobody's ever said that.
I get the odd one, So yeah, I don't know. It's a mixed bag, but I've had some recently. Actually, I got this one last night, and I was like, man, I want to fucking light this guy up so bad. And I did actually bite initially. So and I thought it was a real good one to slide in there. And it was some ass pipe that's talking about, like, electric cars and how much faster they are, whatever. And I came in hot with the, hey man, nobody remembers a fast fucking toaster. Beat it, right?
Yeah.
So he comes back. I can't even remember, but he came back with something, and I'm like, fuck, I want to hit you again. But I'm like, no, you know what? It's probably going to piss you off more that I don't bite again. Right. And you have to walk into your shitty job, fucking hating your life, going, man, that guy got me good with the toaster comment.
No, you know what it is? Every 10 minutes, this jackass has to go look at his phone. Fuck, he didn't respond. Fuck, he didn't respond yet. He's checking all day. And then
True enough.
2 weeks from now, he's going to go and because you know he's gonna go and he's gonna go on his stuff. He's gonna find the comment. And he's like, still didn't respond. What the fuck?
Right.
That's all it is. Like he's gonna feel like a loser.
You know, speaking of losers, I will lay on this sword because when this guy bit back, I was like, you know what? What's this guy all about, right? So anyway, clicked on his profile, scanned through a few things. This is all via Facebook. And like I immediately, he didn't have a profile picture. So it was my imagination that created the individual that I thought was like behind all this. But based on this guy's posts, I'm like, holy fuck, you exactly fit the mold that I thought you were gonna. Like just a complete asshat, right? The stuff he was weighing in on, the politics, the this, that, and the other thing, I'm like, yeah, you're a total fucking idiot.
We should have you
And if
drop
you're-
what you think you look like.
Oh, dude, I can picture it in my head. I know exactly who this guy is. Yeah, they're out there, man. They walk among us. And the thing that amazes me the most about this all the time, guys, I really truly do get a kick out of like going on like this about this stuff. I do not lay awake at night worrying about it. However, it really amazes me when you think about it from the standpoint of like, how miserable must your life be? You know, like if you're gonna, for whatever reason, these posts are popping up in your algorithm. So that's a question in itself, right? Like, are you secretively into this stuff and you don't want anybody to know about it? You know what I mean? Sliding into grinder.com every once in a while just to check the feed, you know? So there's that. And then there's like, you're sitting there, like you watched that video that I put out, and then you took it upon yourself because your life's so miserable and you got nothing else better to do with your time. You're like, I'm going to comment, right? It's like, what the fuck? How does that even happen?
Adderall?
You know? I guess, man, like it really boggles me. I'm like, what kind of reality must that individual live in? It's really wild.
There's all kinds of people out there, Gary.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just like that it's, you know, if you generally leave the comments, like other people will hop in and kind of like fight the battle for you. So it's kind of like interesting to see like how that unfolds. And, you know, that way you can just kind of like step back and, you know, the only thing there is like you're kind of relying on other people to, you know, fight your battles. But, you know, I mean, when it's online, it's like, who the fuck cares? You know,
True.
just
Yeah.
have at it, folks.
The one that still amazes me, boys, is the whole like you like Dodge versus Ford versus Chev. Like, I can't believe that still exists, you know? And sure, like, you know, it's fine. You know, you're in and amongst buds, and like I got a buddy that's got a half-ton Dodge, and surprise, surprise, it's got the manifold tick, right? Like every fucking half-ton Dodge does in the world with a Hemi. And sure, we'll tease him when he shows up for beers, right? Because it's like, oh, I still haven't fixed that, eh? Right? Like fucking Dodge tick. But then in the comments of shit, right, you get people that are like, oh yeah, like it must be a Ford. You're like, oh my God, are we really doing this? Like, what?
Yeah. I get those a lot. Some of the ones that leave the foxbody community, then you have those, and I just don't respond.
That's the thing.
Usually.
Yeah, that is really a true deal. Like once you get outside of the like, you know, safe circle, like we get out of the trust tree, fuck man, like put your helmet on. It's go time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I know interesting topic.
Roman.
Have you guys have all seen the Whistling Diesel ordeal, right?
Oh, the arresting?
Fuck, eh?
Yeah.
They got arrested? I saw that.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the video yet.
Yeah, so apparently it was on tax evasion, but more specifically, the Ferrari that he had that caught fire in Waco in the cornfield in the second that wasn't supposed to happen, but it did happen. It was a Montana LLC registered car.
Oh shit.
So it was like that whole tax loophole of registering, your vehicles in Montana, which like I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of people with supercars or classic cars or whatever it is, they register them in Montana because you don't have to pay the taxes and there's no inspection, and you can pretty much do it from your computer. Like,
you don't
you
require
know,
the vehicle either.
yeah, and like me being in Texas and knowing that like if I wanted to go to the tax office to file for a registration change or title transfer, like the wait time's like 2.5 months unless you go in and burn a whole fucking day waiting in line. Why wouldn't you just submit something online, you know? But anyways, clearly it seems like they're making an example out of him. And
So hold
you know,
on, bud. Do you think that's the angle that this is being pursued? See, because when I first heard this, I thought it's more like he tried writing off the Ferrari as a business expense. That's how I read into it?
My understanding is that Tennessee is pissed off that technically he's a resident of Tennessee, owned the vehicle as a resident there where the vehicle belongs. Therefore, the vehicle should have had taxes paid on it as a Tennessee resident, not as a
Oh,
foreigner with Montana registration residing. So, like, for instance, in Texas, you have 30 days, which is absolutely fucking physically impossible between trying to do out of state VIN validation, which I've told you, Gary, enough times off air, the pain in the dick that is. And then waiting for the appointment, everything else. But technically, that's the law that if you reside here 30 days, your shit needs to be tagged and plated and your taxes paid or whatever. Now, generally speaking, they won't double tax you as long as the vehicle is registered in your name, you know, from another state, and you can show the taxes that you paid. Now, if there's a difference in Texas valuation versus where the other one is, and you're going to pay the difference, you know, they'll find any way to get tax money out of you here for sure. So, to my understanding, that's where this all came in, specific to the Ferrari. Now, I could be wrong. There could be a lot of other stipulations, but Whistling Diesel has been pretty transparent about the whole situation. Like, I've done nothing wrong. I pay my taxes, blah, blah, blah. And this is one of those situations, I think, that it's sort of like, well, hey, if John and Peter and, you know, Sam are all, then why can't I do it too? You know, why are you doing it to me? And, you know, so now he's done these posts that because he built that Killdozer twin.
right.
So now he's saying, I think, and dude, so his court date is in Franklin, your little fucking social media town that you and the wifey love so much.
Yeah, yeah.
So he wants to have the Killdozer transported to Franklin for the day of his court appearance. So, like, to me, I'm just like, how many thousands of fucking people are now going to show up and make an absolute like, they're literally going to make him enough money to pay whatever fucking penalty or fine or whatever it is. Like, going back to the whole, all like bad PR is good PR, like, it's almost genius. Maybe he turned himself in just for the publicity stunt. Who knows?
He's making money on the videos for sure. Yeah.
So, Chris, for perspective, dude, on this Franklin, I mean, I don't know if I could honestly say that I seen where the courthouse was, but like that little hamlet, I mean, it's a bigger town now. It's quite whatever. It's grown and it's popular. So, but like, to put it into perspective for you, dude, it's like that little Georgetown square. That's Franklin. Like, so imagine a fucking flatbed with whatever that Killdozer translates into, probably like a D11 cat. Like, they're fucking huge, you know, coming in on a low bed. I mean, there's no way that guy would run that thing down. It wouldn't fit. Like,
it'd wreck the roads even if he unloaded it, because it's probably all like interlock or cobblestone or shit downtown there too, being an old town.
Yeah. The guy's got balls, man. I mean, I've seen some of these posts of him talking about the Killdozer and this and that, and it's like, man, like, you kind of, this is when the old boy pulls you aside and goes, hey, Sonny, just sit down for a little bit on this one. Like you're in it deep, you know. You might want to take 5 because he doesn't know when to feather the throttle. His whole channel's built off of not feathering the throttle. So yeah, I don't know. But it's interesting you said that, dude, because I did not look at it from that angle of things. I thought this was more like the cheeky, like, I'm gonna write off a Ferrari, right? And I've heard another YouTuber talk about this because when this first all unfolded, I was like, man, somebody else has got to be talking about this. I need a little more info so I can kind of understand what's going on. And this fella that was kind of reviewing it all, he goes, hey, like Whistling Diesel probably wrote off a Ferrari. And I don't mean wrote off like insurance wise. I mean, he wrote it off against his business income. And he's like, this YouTuber said he's probably one of the only YouTubers out there that like makes enough money off of views and monetization and everything else to actually somewhat kind of offset and justify a business write-off like a Ferrari, because his channel is based off of wrecking shit, right? Yep. And then what kind of Ferrari was that? A 480?
458? 458 or 488. No, it was like a Performante something. Shit, I forget. It was a newer
one. So what's
one.
One of those go for? $1 million? 750?
No, I think it was like 500 because it wasn't new. I don't think
he said he bought it for 400,000.
Yeah, because he couldn't buy a new one. Ferrari would like refuse to sell him a car.
So it's a Ferrari F8 Tributo. I'm sure I'm saying that.
That's what it is. Yeah.
458 GT3. Refurbished.
Salvage title.
He also purchased a SF90 Stradale. I don't know.
Yeah, because he's got a couple, right? There's the one that one that was burnt in the field. Then he's got the one that's branded with his Alcolo alcohol. Yeah. And then he's got the other one that he bought off of some weird fucking rapper name, Baby Boy fucking something or other, that I think is like black. So
the Tributo is the one that I think is in question that caught fire.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm genuinely interested in kind of why, how, where, when, who. Now, anytime you're raising any sort of a ruckus, you know what I mean? And shit, Joe, this is kind of funny because like you can somewhat parallel the conversation we started out with, like the kids, right? And coaching them and having a little bit of skipping their step and whatever. Now, Whistling Diesel is at the far end of that extreme, right? Or at least how he portrays himself online. Maybe the guy's a real humble dude in person. I don't know. I doubt it. But anyway, yeah, like I don't know. There's a time and a place for all this stuff, right? And like I've told Chris before that I remember. I can't remember if we recorded this or not, so I'll say it again. I remember Whistling Diesel when he was first starting to take off, going back to the very start of his YouTube channel, and he was doing how-tos. Like, here's how you change a fuel filter on an LBZ Duramax. And he was boring as fuck. He was worse than watching me and Chris. Like, he was awful. So all these goofy how-tos, and then anyway, something happened where he was like, hey, let's put wooden wheels on a fucking Dodge Charger.
He probably gave up, and he just like, fuck this, and let's do dumb shit, because he just didn't take it serious anymore, and that's probably when it took off.
Right. Yeah.
Care less.
Yeah.
That's with social media, you gotta care less sometimes, because I think that's where you get, again, like you were talking about before, pulled into those conversations of people that probably you would never talk to in real life because they don't deserve your time or whatever. They're kind of off or living in their mom's basement, or just maybe they're fucking bots. Who knows, right? But care a little bit less. That's kind of like what my page is, really. So I don't know, whatever. Fucking post.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, but this is the thing. Like I've always, like Whistling Diesel is a really good example of this. I've always been curious, like, okay, dude, like, are you the type of guy really truly that lives that kind of persona that he puts out there? You know what I mean? Because, like, for me, I've said this story a bunch of times, but I mean, I didn't grow up with a whole lot, right? Like, I still remember coming home from school with my very first pair of new shoes. It was probably like 11, 12, and I would literally clean those fuckers with a toothbrush every single day because I didn't know where the next pair of shoes was going to come from. Now, apply the Whistling Diesel component of that, and those shoes would have been fucking burnt off, you know, by the end of the day. You would have lit them on fire just to see what they smelled like. And so I'm always curious about that, right? Like, is this really truly how you live your life? Like, just not a care in the world?
Yeah.
And for me, if I was to ever try and do that, I mean, it would be going so far against my, like, I hate to say it this way, but almost like morals and ethics and values. I'm just like, I don't know. I learned at a young age, you never know where your next meal's coming from. So, like, make sure you appreciate everything. I couldn't just burn a fucking Ferrari down in a cornfield, man. Like,
Well, he didn't mean to.
well, he was trying pretty hard. I watched the video. So yeah,
Oh.
that's always been a curiosity to me. So anyway, with all of this, it's like, yeah, man, like, shit, I'd love to know the quiet story. Like, give me the real deal. What's going on here?
I think
You know?
social media has, if it's proven one thing, it's proven that people are willing to do just about anything to get clicks and views and that type of thing. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't start out like that, but he definitely is that character, whether he likes it or not. So
Yeah. It's worked well for him, you know. But
I guess.
then the other side of that is, where do you go from here? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, Chris and I, in a silly manner, talk about that. It's like, how many times can you change the run channel molding on a car? You know, like, it's you gotta, you know what I mean? Something's got to give.
And this
Well,
week we have a blue car.
yeah, he's supposed to do the Bugatti durability test, right? Because he hit his 10 million subs, which was an interesting tactic when he hit 10 million to say unsubscribe from me. So he like managed to like boot a bunch of people off so that he no longer felt that he had to meet his promise or fulfill his promise of the Bugatti thing. But I feel like he's sort of like, if there was a comparative, it'd be like Steve-O from Jackass
Yeah.
or something like that. Cause he's
That's
sort
a
of like
good one.
the Jackass era that we were used to, of people doing dumb shit with like camcorders or handy cams or whatever, you know what I mean? And then turn that into something. And well, Steve-O's still around. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't know who
Exactly.
the other
You
guys were.
don't know what the hell he's doing. I think in many years, maybe that'll be the same. It's just the next person to fill that kind of jackass void type of deal. It's entertainment and slapstick and it's all that kind of stuff. And, you know, we all watched Naked Gun 2.5. Like, we laughed and slapped our knee a little bit, but it's not as memorable as like epic movies like Braveheart or something, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
Well, that's the interesting thing too. Like if you think about like the fact that those videos or his videos, like they're always going to be there, technically earning royalties, like
true.
a music artist would be,
Mhm.
or like a movie or whatever. So I'm wondering, like, because clearly he's got some smarter people probably trying to set up his financial future. Like that's probably why, you know, the alcohol brand and all the other stuff
Yeah.
that he's sort of like branching out to, you know, not solely rely on YouTube. But yeah, I'm curious to know, like, if he just stopped today, what what it would look like. Like how long would it carry on? Would it take, like, would people just forget? Would somebody like try and step in and fill the void? You
Well,
know, like, does
I think
however, like if he's pulling 50K a month or like 100K a month, God knows whatever it is, like, does that just all of a sudden drop to like 10K?
I think you would want to start with who's his target audience? Who's the ones watching these videos? Like, what are his stats come out to? Like, what does his demographics and all that stuff look like, right? Because maybe people get tired of it if it's a younger crowd that he's attracting for the most part, but then we're involved because we're car people, vehicle people, automotive people, whatever, diesel people. We're still gonna get that in our algorithm, or you follow them because like you saw one or two videos that were pretty entertaining. You didn't think anybody would ever make a video like that, right? Like, who the hell does this? So you see more. How many destruction videos of vehicles do you really want to watch? But then again, trains crash and people can't look away. So who knows? Maybe that appeals to something in all of us, even no matter if we're old or young. So he just hit that vein, and it's forever pumping blood into his
Yeah, and I'm curious too, right? Like what the demographic looks like based on the vehicles that he's messed with. Like obviously a Ferrari, that's like the young kid's dream, or a lot of people's dreams throughout their lifetime.
Mhm.
So that's just the people that would always want to chase an exotic could probably want to see that. But then there's like the square body
Mhm.
that, would probably hurt a lot of feelings of people from our time or even before us. And then, the Tesla, the Cybertruck. So then you're getting into the Evo, the real fucking weirdos out there. Probably all of California watches that.
No, but that's also all the people that can't stand it that are like cheering them on, like, yeah, fucking like break this thing. Yeah, like, yeah, launch this thing. Yeah, fucking like throw it in the water, see if it explodes, like so you're touching on different sides of the fence, like
yeah.
So you got people cheering for it and people cheering against it, right? So
the really funny thing about that Cybertruck video or videos, I think he's done a couple now, right? Is I wouldn't be surprised if you could get into the back end of his YouTube channel. You probably would have watched that thing like hump up because whatever, people just want to see this thing get trashed and then fall off. And then shortly thereafter, Trump and Musk and this whole political thing goes on, and like Elon's fucking supporters completely change, right? From like who used to like him and now they want to burn the cars they bought. It probably went up again just so they could watch something made by Tesla get blown up. I bet that thing's camel humped like no other.
Are you guys seeing those bumper stickers on Teslas that I bought my Tesla before Elon went crazy or something?
Yeah. Oh my God. This world, I swear to God, man, it seems like a simulation more and more every fucking day. It's like you can't make this shit up anymore. It's so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out there, man. They like I said earlier, they walk amongst us. And yeah, is Hawaii pretty big for the EVs, Joe?
Yeah,
Probably, hey?
I think I don't know if it's like liberal or it's a blue state. Has been forever. It's really weird because when you talk to people, a lot of people are very conservative, but then like the school systems are very like a lot of other places are like that too, where it's very liberal, left leaning kind of thing, and then but it's interesting where I think the EV support in Hawaii is because we're a great state to have solar, like PV. And, we just put solar in our house and that was a fiasco. But you look at if you have an excess of energy and if you don't use it, you're just pumping it back into the grid for, pennies on the dollar for what they're going to charge somebody else. And it's like, fuck, that's why people are like, trying to use the energy that's being created by their equipment. I think that's why you have a lot of people rolling around in EVs, and most people that have EVs have one or two internal combustion vehicles or hybrid or whatever, but they're using that EV as much as they can just to, toot around the neighborhood or, go here and there and run errands and stuff. And then when they go out to eat, they're not taking that. They're taking the nice car being the gas car and stuff. And
right.
Yeah. So they're treating those EVs like golf carts, So it seems like.
Yeah, it's like living in a little country club neighborhood, right? And you got your golf cart for rattling around and drinking beer on and whatever, right? Totally.
And there was a survey done, and there was a very high percentage of EV owners that still own a gas vehicle. And it was, they just, again, they're using the EV for putting around or doing whatever, and then offsetting gas costs. And they probably have solar. A lot of them were, solar customers, PV customers. So,
Yeah.
but they're not up the gas car,
That's the funny thing for me is like, as much as I make fun of the whole EV thing, it's like if I was in a financial position where, money wasn't as tight as it is, I'd be like, yeah, fuck, like third car, let's throw an EV in the mix. You know?
I thought about it even as much as I dog on EVs. It's not so much the EV itself. It's the state of California and their bullshit with, you're going to have all cars that are sold in California are going to be EVs at 2035. I'm like, no, that's not how you do this kind of thing. And it's that, the Orwell type of, future that we don't have a choice. Like, give us the choice. If you don't give us a choice and you're shoving EVs down people's, throats, of course, then that's when we buck. And we said, fuck that. So you got to have enough people say, fuck that, to be able to not, just go along with everything that is not even in our interest. It's in the interest of the people that are making money off of all these different changes they're doing. But all in all, it's still using, actually probably worse for the environment than a gas vehicle in the long run. But, conflict minerals and all that shit, and the batteries they have to put in these things. And batteries are not sustainable. They're not recycling the batteries to be able to make them last forever. You might be able to rebuild a battery pack, but even at that, you're not getting a lot out of it. We learned that from the Priuses. And, it's just, I just hate to see the bullshit. It's like, don't tell us it's this, and don't try to sell us it's this, so it's frustrating when, I think that's what the silent majority gets frustrated with, where the people that we elect and put in positions of power to speak on our behalf, and then they all get compromised somehow, and it's just over and over and round we go. And talking about taxes, I think I shook my head every time Chris mentioned taxes earlier. I just shook my head every time. I just had a natural reaction, like, I have to rewind that back. But it was a conversation I was having with somebody who has served in government, and they don't even agree with income tax. But then you look at, like, probably putting us all on a watch list right here. Sorry, but when you're talking
where are you
there? But with why are we getting charged tax on something that's already had tax paid on it? It's complete horseshit, and where does the tax money go? Like, there's no P&L for the government. It's never ran like a efficient business. These people would be fired if it was, because there's too much waste, like these businesses would fail. And that's why the government, like, can't get anything done. They need, So I guess the older you get and the more you experience all this stuff, it just gets frustrating. And then you sound like an old, stuck in the mud conservative type, and it's like, because you worked your ass off to actually, like, accomplish and be able to acquire things that you want, and then say you pay off your house and you're still paying property tax for the rest of your life, and if you don't pay it, they come take your house away. And it's like, how is that a thing? Or how is you buy your house for 50 grand and now it's worth 2 million, 30 years later, and your grandma's trying to pay the property tax, but she, they up the property tax based on the land value and the house value or whatever. So they just keep recycling the goods back into the system so that they can keep using them long after you're gone, right? And it's just, how do you keep your wealth within your family? And that's where some people, I guess it goes back into politics again. And I know Gary listens to Joe Rogan. I listen to Rogan quite a bit too. And, but there's been people on there, and he's talked about it too, where some shit just doesn't make sense. And recently, some of the conversation has just been about, politicians don't, no matter where they stand on left, right, no matter where they stand, they don't want to fix things because it gives them something to rally for. They raise money on the idea of fixing things, right? So they always want to have problems. So they're never going to get in there and fix all the problems, because then what do you need them for, right? You don't need a voice anymore because the problems are solved. So here, we had a lieutenant governor. He got in as lieutenant governor based on like fighting for homelessness and fixing all these problems and stuff. And I feel like nothing was ever done. And then all these people here voted for him. I don't know anybody who voted for him, by the way. That's really odd. But
That's always weird. Yeah.
it's weird. And I serve, I would say, like a wide spectrum of customers, but they're all in automotive or aviation or diesel repair. And the guy he ran for governor on very similar talking points or campaign points of fixing this and fixing that, mostly homelessness. And they've built some tiny houses. They're called tiny houses, and they give them a like slick little name. And one little house that's probably like 400 square feet costs like $800,000 or $900,000, and it's like, how the fuck? And each one is like 6 feet from the other one, and there's a little community of them, and it's for the veterans and homeless. And it's just somebody got the contract, and it's really like 30 grand in parts and labor when you look at it. It's kind of like the $279,000 Velocity car. It's like, where's the the square footage doesn't, I don't, what?
The math don't math.
Yeah. So,
Joe, this is funny, buddy, because I had this, well, not broken down to me directly, but I heard a fairly intelligent individual speak on this some time ago, and it was in regards to politics, but I'll try to like throw a bit of an automotive flair on this. So the best customer, if you're running a shop, is a car that is riddled with problems, right? For a few different reasons. One, because it's always going to be coming back. But two, because no matter what you do to the car, it's always going to be better than when it came in the first time. So if, much like the political situation, if you can run on problems that are indefinitely bad, and they're like, I don't want to like whatever name particular problems, but it kind of fits for this. Climate change, right? Whether it gets hot, whether it gets cold, whether it does what, we're fucked either way. You know what I mean? Like, this is a problem that
dude, you gotta hand it to them. Climate change is fucking brilliant.
It is.
They got it wrong with what was it?
The ozone. Remember when the ozone had a fucking hole in it?
After they were talking about the global cooling or some shit before. Remember, it was going to cause an ice age, and then it was the ozone, which was going to cause the ice caps to melt. And so they have all these different names, and they came up with climate change, which just, you had to have a think tank come up with that. It's like, climate, that's fucking it, man. That's fucking, there it is. Meanwhile, Obama's like, building a beachfront property here on the island, and I don't think he's worried about
diesel generators.
No, it's just, I don't think he's worried about the tide rising in the next 10 years or 20 or 100 or 2000, whatever, right? Like, Florida's still there.
Oh, totally. Yeah, and you can still get insurance on a lot of those beachfront properties. All of them. Yeah, you got to run on problems that are unsolvable. And the homelessness thing, I mean, I think that's getting funded from both angles, right? It's like, oh no, we need more drugs, and we need more problems, and we need more whatever. And then we're going to build them more houses, and we're going to look like heroes, because you're fixing the shitty car that's riddled with problems, and you're making it just 1% better. And no matter what and no matter what happens, you can always be like, hey, look how much good we did, right? Like, I fixed that one rattle, even though there's 300 more. I fixed the one, right?
No, you'll have a 5-minute session where you get to talk, and in that talk, you can fill it up with the 40 things that you did, even though 10 of them are related, 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 and you just break those things down, and all of a sudden your time's up, and everybody claps for you. And meanwhile, the chaos and shit show is still happening out there, but you get your funding.
100%. Hey, okay, before we get too far away from taxes on taxes on taxes and just how wild it is, if no one can appreciate how far things have come, say, in the last 100 years, I'm going to tell you a funny story here. Well, it's going to start out as a funny story, and then it's going to become more realistic. So last year at Pitts, look at you, buddy. That's a beauty looking bowl of grub.
Just sitting here. I'm like, oh,
get after it. Okay, I'll do the talking for a minute, and you can shove your face. Okay, so we're down at Pitts last year. Me and Chris and Tom and Dom and Jeff Johnson and shit. Who else is there? Maybe that was all of us in the house, eh? Wives and kids and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the end of show day number 2, me, Chris, and his gal Britt were like, fuck, you know what? We haven't eaten all day. Missed the food truck in the morning. Let's go get a bite to eat. So we run down to Dick's. For anybody that doesn't know out there, I'd never been to one of these either, but you go in there, they put these fucking paper hats on you. They treat you like shit. It's a whole event, right?
Strike 2, asshole.
Yeah. So we do that. And then on the way out of there, we're like, holy shit, moonshine. You want to go in for a tasting? Yeah, let's do it, right? So we're in there doing the moonshine shots. Anyway, we get back to the house, and my little 9-year-old Sadie, who doesn't miss a beat, she's overhearing some of the adult conversation going on surrounding this moonshine tasting. And for whatever fucked up reason, my little one Sadie cross threads moonshine with methamphetamines. So once the smoke clears from the conversation and we're all done telling stories or whatever, Sadie pulls me aside. She's like, Dad, we need to talk. I'm like, oh shit, what happened, right? What were you were doing meth? I'm like, oh my God, buddy. No, God, no. I'm like, you're messing two worlds up here, buddy. I said, it's moonshine. I do this whole song and dance, explain the whole situation to her. So anyway, she comes around, and then we do the whole 3,300 mile trip home. She's back at school. I pick her up one day, and she's got all these questions about moonshine. And I said, Bud, I'm probably not the best one to ask, but I said, we could probably jump on YouTube, and, on the way home, we'll just listen to some of the historical stories about moonshine. How did it come to be? All the stuff. So I wish I could remember this guy's name. He most definitely is in like the historical records of moonshine and or the United States for that matter, because where this guy ended up in like the alcohol bureau or whatever was kind of wild how the story went. But anyway, give you the quick Cole's notes on it. So this fella growing up through the like 20s and 30s and whatever, depression hits, people start making their own booze. He was young at the time and was just running around and tending to a lot of the folks' stills that were making booze for themselves and selling it off and just trying to make ends meet. Anyways, he did that over a handful of years. And then he got to a point, because he was tending so many stills, he kind of put everybody's recipes together, made up his own, and started brewing his own moonshine. And it was apparently the best moonshine anybody had ever had. So he becomes like top of the food chain right out of the gate, making his own brew. Anyway, time goes on. The United States is starting to form, and the union and this and that and whatever. And the powers that be step in and go, hey, listen, we need to start pulling in some tax revenue here to pay for all our expensive dinners and everything else. Anybody that's making booze on their own, you got to start paying whatever it was for tax. Okay. And now I can only imagine, because this would have been, say, in the 40s, it was probably like 0.01% of your revenue or something to that effect, right? Like very, very low. This fella that I can't remember his name, but I wish I could, was literally willing to like end people to like not pay that tax. You know what I mean? Because in his mind, he's like, I'm the one hauling the corn up the hill. I'm the one packing copper. I'm the one, like, no, you're not getting a red cent out of me, right? Like, why? What for? So at the time that I'm watching this with my 9-year-old, right, I'm thinking, holy shit, right? Like here we sit, income tax. I mean, property tax, you name it. Like it's just endless, the taxes. And this guy was willing to like go toe to toe with black powder rifles over 0.01% or whatever it was, right? And not pay that tax. And here we're just like, oh, another one? Yeah, no, here, yeah, pay out of this account because that one's fucking in overdraft. Like, yeah, we got to pay the bills, you know? It really, it put me on my heels, man. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So I've got a story too, because it looks like Joe's still stuffing his face.
No, I put it down, but since you're gonna talk, I'm gonna eat some more.
Yeah. So right before SEMA, actually, I've got one credit card that I've sort of like designated as the medical bill payment plan. Kind of, it's just going to live over there, and I'm going to get to it when I get to it, because it's just like, because in your brain you're like, you just can't justify that you're spending some of the money on, like, some of it you can, some of it you can't. But anyways, so there's a decent amount on it, nothing crazy, like nothing a couple sets of wheels or whatever couldn't pay off, but needless to say, I'm not selling off my prized possessions just to pay off the whole amount. So I log in, and you know how it says you can pay the whole current balance, minimum payment due, or other. I go in, I click other, I put my payment in of, I think it was like $1,000 or something. I click submit. And this was on Sunday or something. So I was trying to like be proactive about knowing I wasn't going to be around for the week or busy with the show. And we're at the airport, literally waiting for like to board on the plane. And I get a notification on my Bank of America account that, there's a 9,000, so you guys can figure out how much the balance is. So $9,000 payments trying to come out, and there's not $9,000 in that account. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm not even thinking the credit card payment at this point. I'm just thinking, okay, like, who the fuck this time, you know what I mean, is like trying to buy something or spend something. And I'm like, I don't even use my debit card ever. Like, it just, the day I get it issued, it lives in a drawer somewhere or in the safe shit. I couldn't even tell you where the hell it is. So I'm like, how the hell is this even happening? So I do a little bit of thinking. I'm like, I wonder if it has to do with that. So long story short, my $1,000 payment was not accepted in the system. It was, they tried to take the whole amount. And I know what I checked off, and I know what I clicked submit on. So I'm calling the credit card company. They're like, well, no, if that's the payment you made, then you're shit out of luck. I'm like, well, you guys aren't going to get it. So they're like, well, your bank, you can tell your bank to like kick it back. And I'm like, yeah, but what about the fees? And they were just, we don't need to get into the customer service side of things, as that's a whole other battle. But the bank kicks it back, then they try and withdraw it again.
What the fuck?
I'm like, what is going on? So I call the bank again, and I'm like, listen, you guys have a glitch in the matrix. I need to speak to somebody about what the fuck's going on here. And they ended up hanging up. I wasn't even rude about it. I was just frustrated about the situation, and they ended up hanging up on me. And then in my mind, I'm like, are the banks fucking hurting right now? Like, is this like planned? That they've just, if somebody goes in, we're just going to try and hit them for the whole balance, and we'll see who just lets it slide and what we can collect off of. And then, or, you know what I mean? Just play off the whole thing.
Huh.
I don't know. That's very aggressive, though.
And they're like, no, it is what it is. You're screwed. And then of course my bank's like, well, if you set up an automatic, the ACH transfer, which is like an electronic check, like if you set that up, then like you're liable for the payment. Now, thankfully, after the second attempt, it bounced back and did its thing, and it didn't. They didn't try it a third time, and then of course 2 days go by, and then I'm getting the phone call of like, hey, you missed your payment. Like, we're here to collect. And I'm like, well, I tried to make a payment and this is what actually happened. And that person was actually half decent to talk to. But yeah, I couldn't help in the back of my mind to just think because I know we love our tinfoil hat discussions on here. Like, is there something going on here? Like a little tactic to try and fill the piggy bank back up?
I think this podcast might shut down if we really go down the rabbit hole.
We can touch the edges though. Shit.
I don't know. It's hard. Everybody's algorithm.
It is hard.
Well, hey, Joe, you can move to Florida, man. They're going to ditch the property tax over there, I hear.
Yeah. No, I can't.
They got palm trees and stuff.
It's close. I mean, there's trees there that are palm trees. It would be fun.
But how would you even do that, Joe? Like, I'm sure you guys, like, every once in a while, like, not saying that you're thinking about moving, but you know what I mean? Like, it must cross your mind every once in a while. Like, how the hell would we ever do that? I mean, I can't even imagine.
Logistically, it's it's human nature to try to see the future or whatever, make the vision of what if we did this, what would happen, or how would we accomplish this or whatever, right? But that's how planning happens and stuff. And yeah, I've kind of thought about that. Like, well, what would I do? How would I get my cars, or would I have to sell everything? Or,
let alone the couch and the bed, but the cars is like,
whatever.
The cars would like make your head explode.
Yes.
Like,
the parts, the cars, yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. I don't know. My father-in-law lives in Florida, in Jacksonville. Thought about, at one point during COVID, I really was thinking about fucking getting the hell out of here. But it didn't get, it was crazy.
It got crazy there, hey?
But it wasn't, I got to say, like, the worst it got was after things were open back up, and people here were wearing the fucking masks, like, I mean, we did too, don't get me wrong. We went and got our groceries. We did the right thing, quote unquote, put your mask on, go in and fucking be a little good boy. And it's just, after a while, it's just like, fuck, man, it's just weird. And then for the kids are, they were at home for like a whole school year. And then when they went back to school, they're wearing fucking masks. And it's just like, geez, man, like these, we don't even know, the young ones, what permanent damage it has done to them. We won't know until they get out into society and can't function like a normal person. Hopefully they will have recovered enough, but they may never find their true potential. Like they may never reach the potential that they would have had, right? So who fucking knows, man? It's just odd. It's weird. And you still see people driving around and bless you if, like the Asian culture has always been real respectful of others. With if they're sick on a plane, they're going to wear a mask, whatever. You fly to anywhere that, or you see people here. We have a lot of, Japanese tourists and stuff, a lot of Asian mix here, of course. Right. But you see people driving around in their car by themselves with the mask on and the windows down or the windows up or whatever. I'm just like, this point, I just like look and I'm like, I kind of give a little chuckle because it's mildly entertaining, and I just like, man, I think we lost a lot of people during COVID, like mentally they just broke, and that may have been part of the whole goal there. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
And here the other week, it was literally like a week ago, I saw a good old boy smoking in his car with the windows up.
Damn, you're getting the most of that cigarette, like so research everything. Yeah. Hey, cigarettes are expensive, man. He's probably just making sure he gets the, every
full
time.
Fact. It's true. Joe, the thing about that, I mean, Canada followed a similar program, and it almost didn't matter where you were within it either. Like it just, because Canada's a pretty big country, and seemed like pretty much everywhere followed the same program that you guys did. And the thing about it for me that, because like, I don't know, not to get into like too deep a detail, but I mean, we're pretty accepting people, like our family, you know what I mean? We, to each their own, you know,
Yeah.
it's like you do you, we'll do us. Just you don't shove your life in our faces and we'll do the same, right?
Right.
That's kind of how we operate. But then, you know, there comes a point where you, I don't know, we like to think of ourselves as like we think for ourselves, right? And when you're surrounded by a bunch of people that don't really, you don't get the sense that they think for themselves, you're kind of like, oh my God, like what am I doing around all this? Like
Yeah.
this just that'll weigh on you. And I mean, for anyone that wasn't around that, it's probably hard for you to appreciate this, but there really truly is something to be said about being around people that are similar minded and, you know, think for themselves. And I don't know, I know that's a big topic, but I don't know, I really struggle with that one, right? When you get the sense from people that they don't even know why they're doing what they're doing, they've just been told to do it.
Yeah.
I really, really struggle with that, you know? Like, I don't know. I was always the kid, right? Like, why, where, when, wow, who? And I mean, it's probably 1,000 times worse now for me, but I think that's what helps me navigate through all the fog of life is like, you know, I don't just, I haven't watched the news in 15 years, I bet you know, or if I do, it's handpicked, you know, I mean, yeah, but then, you know, there's I see it. Like I walk around the neighborhood with the wife and, you know, there's CNN on or there's whatever on, and I'm not trying to pick on any one news source, even though everybody could probably fucking tell the ones that I pay attention to. But like, why are you even watching that bullshit? You know what I mean? Like you were given the I don't want to make this religious or anything, but like the God-given gift of like feeling your way through life. You have a compass built into your guts that tells you right from wrong. What the fuck are you doing getting that information from somebody else?
I believe they refer to those as NPCs, Gary.
Yeah. They're lemmings, dude. Like it's just fucking walking through life like video game characters. It's wild to me.
Some people just don't have that in them, I feel like, or they gave it up for, you know, creature comfort or whatever it is, peace of mind, that they just, you know, oh, you know, everybody's, I don't want to say the government's doing what they're supposed to do and keep us safe and everything else. And, you know, maybe that's what they want you to believe because it gives the control over to, you know, somebody else. But I don't know, man. We're in a kind of strange era of humanity right now. It's really what it is. And it's kind of funny because we, you know, we also have the internet and social media. So there's like information at your fingertips. Like the world is beyond what's inside your TV. You know, like you can see and listen and interact and talk and with just about any different walk of life right now. And it is odd that people would choose not to like at least question what they're being taught or programmed, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like how how did you not stumble into, I don't know, like a magician act or a hypnotist or something in your younger years where like the old adage of like whatever the left hand's doing, watch what the right hand's doing. You know, like that's the one you need to pay attention to because this one's trying to grab your attention. You know, it's like,
Yeah, that's us though. That's like how we are because we want to figure shit out, right? Like, wait a minute, do that again. But a lot of people
yeah,
just want to have that like, oh, moment. You know, they want to just fucking, you know, wow me. Oh, that's amazing.
yeah,
Do it again. You know, they're not inquisitive enough or curious enough to try to figure it out or, you know. they like to be fooled. Maybe that's part of people's human nature too. Maybe they like to be fooled. They like to be told what they want to hear. You know?
Yeah. You know, something I never thought about until just right now is going back to the old forum days. I always said, like, if you want to find decent information in the forums, you need a really good filter, right? Because you're going to like funnel all this intel in, and there's going to be lots of bullshit. There's going to be some good. And you need, much like if you were sifting for gold, right? Like, you got to get the gravel out and you got to whatever, right? And you'll get down to the nugget that you were looking for. Well, it's almost maybe that prepped us in some ways for like what we're dealing with now. Cause like there's a lot of shit coming at us. And to your point, like with social media and everything else, like, yeah. And the other side of that, which is really dangerous, is like you don't even really know where the sources of social media are coming from. So you need like an extra fine, like I'm talking fucking, 0.00001 micron filter to really sift your way through this bullshit. And that's a scary one too. I mean, my mom, I love my mom to death, but she's retired now, and she's found the internet. I'll tell you that much. And some of the stuff I get sent to me, I'm like, holy fuck, mom. Like, you got to cool your tits down here. Like, you're getting out of control. Okay. Settle. So, and I don't know, she's usually got a pretty good filter, and I don't know. It's just, yeah, there's a lot of information, like you got to be extra vigilant with this stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, because you can get shit thrown at you that seems like it should be sticking to the wall, but no, you got to let that stuff fall off. It ain't good intel.
Or we could just do your approach, Gary, and just ask Chat GPT.
Oh no,
No,
I think
No,
Chat
you need it.
GPT is getting captured as well.
Yeah, you need to
It's
know
a
how to
lot of,
steer that fucker.
You do, but then again, do you know Chat GPT is people will use it in a way of crime, and it's starting to now notify authorities based on what your conversations are.
Ooh,
So
I wouldn't be surprised.
just remember, it's all human programming into one of these things, right? So whatever they and they're going to go in and see like what's hitting, what's not hitting, and they can adjust. Chat GPT, they put updates out. They'll take things out that worked before, or they'll have make it an appear to keep evolving with you as a accompanying assistant type of deal, but really it's just collecting more data. It's everything they do, everything that we have, every app on your phone, it's all just collecting data on us, and that's what's making other people rich and making us just go down this path of living in that Orwellian state, if you will. It's crazy. It's crazy when we hit that end user agreement, like what's in there and what they're actually pulling off your phone and around you and everything else. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, we just agree to it all, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just get me past this and get me updated.
Yeah, show me the Google Maps. Oh, that's cool. You can zoom in real far.
Boys, on this note of like how crazy the world's getting, I struggled with this one today, because I've never really been one to, well, I enjoy humor and I like to laugh and whatever. So I've never really been one to really want to like jump on a soapbox and like really cram something home, or you know what I mean? Be like, you gotta listen to this or whatever. That's just really not in my nature. But I listened to a podcast today that I was really close to doing that with. And I don't know, Chris and I started this pod for this kind of reason, right? To just kind of let loose and do whatever. So maybe this is the right place to bring it up. But for anybody out there interested, this does apply to folks without kids, but it most definitely does apply to folks with kids. There's a Sean Ryan podcast out, most recent one. Fuck, have you listened to this, Joe?
I only saw the preview, but I gotta set like to listen to this. I know it's going to get pretty deep, and it's yeah. Go ahead, but I know which one you're referring to because it has to do with the roadblocks and all that shit, man.
Good. I've got like, oh, Joe, you're here. I got chicken skin everywhere, brother. Like goosebumps, fucking all over me. It's
You know what I would do. This and Gary, I almost want to guarantee you've had this fucking thought. Like I would liquidate a lot of stuff, arm up a lot of stuff, and put a group of well-to-do people together and go hunt these people down.
yeah.
But I think because that world is much bigger and than we could probably ever imagine, it goes deeper, and that's probably what all these, all this stuff that you see every other swipe is about, these Epstein things and all these other stuff, and like it's tied into all this government. It doesn't matter if it's left or right or whatever. All these people, there's some sick ass motherfucking people out there, and it's sad and it's weird that they just look like normal people, but they're sick, and there's no way to cure it besides, what you really can't say. But
yeah, this is Chris. I don't know. Maybe you're feeling like you're sitting there on the outskirts wondering what the hell we're talking about. But anyway, this is it's got to do with people like grooming kids online and all the rest of it. I won't go into like whatever the finer details of it. It rocked me so much that my 13-year-old, so it's just me and Sadie and Abby home right now. My wife and my older one, Kaylee, are out at a tournament this weekend. But I got home and I was actually like, I found myself almost like aggravated around the house. Like I looked over at my 13-year-old who, my kids, my two older ones have phones. And the reason being is their sports are tied into these sports apps that give them their schedules. There is a chat function to them and whatever else. And we were kind of the last ones to take a knee and do that with them. And it got awkward, right? And I was like, fuck, we got to do this, right? Like whatever. We can't hold out forever. Anyway, outside of that, those telephones have text functions and phone functions, and that's it, right? We don't allow any apps in my house. We don't allow any of that bullshit. And after hearing this podcast, man, am I thankful that we've taken that route, because like of all things, the title of this podcast, I can't remember the exact terminology of it, but it rattles off two kids' games, Roblox and Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
And these are like two of the world's most popular games for children. And these are the fucking games that these filthy, like I can't even fucking use the words. And I say a lot of bad words on this podcast, but I can't even come to terms with the words I want to use for these individuals. Groom these kids through these games. And the worst part about, like, it's awful, man. Like more awful than you can imagine. And I had a conversation with my 13-year-old tonight before we got on the pod. Probably the worst time to do it because I want to come on here and have some beers and some good times with you guys. But I'm like, I said, Abby, like this shit I listened to today, buddy, is going to give me nightmares. Like it's awful. And anyway, yeah, I wanted to go on my like Instagram stories or something today and like post that pod and be like, if you're not paying attention to this, you should. And I don't know. Like to my point earlier, it's like I like making the world a little bit funner if I can, or a little happier, laugh a little more, whatever. And I'm like, Christ, do I want to go down that road? I don't know. But for anyone out there, like I know we got a pretty tight community on the podcast side of things. Like, folks, listen to that podcast. It will rock you to your absolute core of your soul. And if you're letting your kids run amok on their phones, good grief, God help you. That's all I can say. It's
Yep.
bad.
So
It is.
I actually have a question for you two based off of this. Being the guy with no kids, like obviously, I can only try to understand what that would feel like. Like hearing that or knowing that or having children that could be possible victim to that. But let's say you didn't have your kids right now, knowing what you know about the world in this current climate that we're in right now, would the two of you still want kids right now?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. The reason why I'll say this is if you know who you are and how you are as an individual and the person that you trust your life with, that you live with, I think if you look how bad things are, there's still beauty out there, right? And I think it's really important to make sure that you contribute something to the world in a positive way, and that would be your legacy. Your legacy is not the car or the garage you build or the part stash or whatever. You know, it's your children. Your children are your legacy, and everything that you are and how you are, and it reflects in them. Just as when they're out in the community, how they act is a reflection of you as a parent and your household, right? So. You got to put good back in the world, and the best way to do it is make good people. So I say yes, no matter what. Yeah.
Right.
You know what, Joe? Like, I mean, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that. But like, you know, to directly answer you, Chris, and I mean, you're obviously asking this from a position of not having kids. I'd say, like, you know, I'd say if you do have any kind of thoughts about making the world a better place, and I'm not whatever posing that like you don't, but like, you know, you do have a platform, you know, you got whatever, like the ability to steer a handful of minds or whatever. Like, I'd say if you don't do it via kids, then yeah, trying to find a way to do it via yourself. You know what I mean? Like, just yeah, because well, I mean, obviously you're someone's kid too, right? So you can make them feel better about their contribution to the world, making you and you know, you carry that torch on and pass on some good. Um, but yeah, I would say the same thing, Joe. I mean, you know what's funny though, man? Um, I'm obviously like fresh off of this 5.5 hour fucking podcast, and it like just blows your mind on every angle. Um, one more thing I will add to it though, for those of you listening that don't have kids, the first half of it is really good info. Actually, it's really neat, kind of nerdy info too. Like he talks about, you know, just how easy it is to access everything and anything that's tied to the internet. Like from your Ring camera to your phone to your fucking webcam, anything, you know? And he's doing it with like a $9 item that was bought on eBay. You know what I mean? Like just wild, wild stuff. It's really the first little bit of it is probably like if you get a kick out of 007 movies, especially when he goes in to get the Aston Martin with the fucking guns and all the stuff, it's really cool from that side of things. And then the latter half of the podcast goes into like all this other shit, right? Um, yeah. So I don't know. Like, I guess going back to your question, Chris, if you asking me that right now, fresh off of listening to that 5.5 hour rant, I'd be like, fuck, man, it's a really good question. You know, like if me and the wife were thinking about either rubbering up tonight or not, I'd probably rubber up. She's not even here either. So,
Yeah.
but
It's
yeah,
interesting.
I get where you're going with it, buddy. Totally.
I mean,
Yeah,
I could
no,
understand
because
if
like
somebody
obviously
yeah.
yeah, like I've had my reasons why, you know, I didn't want kids, and I feel like a lot of my years working in education, especially towards the end of my corporate career, if you will, it was nice and rewarding, right, to help the younger generation identify passion and hopefully help steer them down a journey where they'll be, fulfilled and successful and all those other things. But man, it's crazy. I keep hearing it's like quarter after midnight and someone's firing rounds somewhere. Um, but anyways,
Texas, baby.
yeah, Texas.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So yeah, it's nuts, man. So like every time I think about it, I'm just like, man, like kudos to, like you guys who have kids and are dealing with all this stuff and trying to like guide them down this right path. Cause like you can only do the best that you can and hope that,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? That
You don't fuck them up too bad.
exactly. And like we're all human at the end of the day, but like, man, there's just so much that we're not in control of.
Right. That's the scary part.
And
Being a parent.
yeah, exactly. So
But I could see why people would be apprehensive to have kids. Even we have a 14-month-old, right? So we've had one fairly recent, and man, it's we were like, are we really doing this? At our age, but yeah, I mean, she is amazing. This kid is an old soul. She was walking at 9 months, running at 10, up the stairs at 11. She's halfway through talking through sentences, and she's 14 months old. She's like, it's weird. She's like almost like a boy and a girl. She's like my buddy, but she's still my daughter. But she's like almost like having another son or something. It's really weird. Like, I'm like, what are you? Like, what are you doing? Like, she's just, we're there, but I couldn't imagine a life without her, and I think maybe that's why I answered so quick, because I'm already on this side of the fence, Chris, where it's, I couldn't imagine not having kids, so, and we've gone through all this crazy world, whatever, and we've had the kids, and it's just like I feel like I get the best compliments from the teachers and the coaches and the people in the neighborhood, with how they are and who they are, and we're doing a great job. And I'm just like, fuck, are you sure? Because man, they get yelled at, like it's loud in our house sometimes, but they know how to be respectful. They know how to appreciate what they're given, and then they know how to, if they really want some, know how to go out and get it earned, and just trying to raise kids that know how to self-govern themselves and respect other people's wishes, and but also look out for each other and look out for themselves. And it's a crazy world, like that podcast that Gary's talking about. That shit's scary. It's nasty out there, and there's some sick ass people that they just don't have any empathy for other people, or it's kind of like, it's scary when you get down those rabbit holes of like trafficking, and not just like human trafficking, but child trafficking, and then what they do to these kids, how they do it, and then what they do when they're done with the kid. That's the scary part. It's like, we're pet owners, we're pet lovers and stuff like that. You have cats, and I know like your cat's like part of your family and stuff, but it'd be like if some random was stalking you and got your cat and then freaking started torturing that cat, and just for that person's own sick fulfillment or whatever, that never gets fulfilled because something's wrong with them, and they just do it over and over. But that cat meant nothing to them, but it meant everything to you. What I mean?
Hey, there was the documentary "Don't Fuck with Cats."
Right.
Right, like that it's literally that. It was a sicko. That was a whole thing from the pet perspective. But yeah, it's nuts. And the one thing that like I guess I'm trying to think of in my mind, because obviously we're in North America and there's a lot of, I guess, realness that happens in the world. We'll just call it the US, because Gary or whatever, we'll call you the 51st state for the specific explanation of things, because it really is. You know what I mean? So it's like you got your kids, and whether you're like private schooling or homeschooling, you're like doing the app thing to try and keep them safe. Like there's still, everybody's close enough to like a real situation that's maybe actually happen, or there's a story that somebody knows that, an attempt, or maybe even worse.
Hmm.
There's a very small degree of separation versus what was really interesting yet scary in a lot of ways is like all the kids that grew up in Dubai, which is probably one of the safest cities in the world, have no idea what actual crime looks like or
Right.
feels like the experience of just someone stealing, I don't know, your iPhone or something, because it doesn't happen there, right? Like you leave your keys in the ignition. If your phone's left in the mall, like no one will dare touch it because it's sort of the fear tactic of what'll happen if you steal something. But they all watch and they have access to social media, movies, what they see on TV. And sometimes it actually turns into like, it's almost like a cool factor. It's like when you watch that horror movie and you get the stupid bimbo that's like, oh no, they're fine. That's just fake or whatever. And then they get slaughtered because it's a real chainsaw. But like, it's sort of like that effect where there'd be all these kids that grew up in the safest city in the world, and they would like transfer and go to whatever, Canada, the US, to
Chicago.
the UK, and then they're like on the subway for the first time, and they leave their phone gets stolen like the next day, and like the reality, it's like no street smarts whatsoever. So I guess my point of saying this is because you sort of said it before about the whole sports thing, Joe, of like, did you over humble your son to the point of, you know what I mean? So it's sort of
Yeah.
like, don't overprotect your kids.
Mhm.
I would almost say at the same time, like, and this is just me from an outsider talking based on stuff that I saw over there. Because if you overprotect, then it's sort of like they feel like they're invincible and they have nothing to worry about, when in reality, like shit does happen. So it's
Yes.
sort of like,
Teach them
I
the
don't know.
threat. You
Yeah.
gotta expose them in a safe environment way. You have to educate them on what the world really is, right? So the earlier you can do that, the better. It's just, again, there's a balance to allowing them to still be kids and overprotecting them, right? So you just gotta pick and choose what you tell them and how you tell them. And remember that movie? Fuck, I just thought this. Remember that Paul Walker movie, Running Scared? He had that Russian couple, and they
Oh yeah.
fuck, dude, that movie, like, I still have nightmares over that room with the plastic everywhere and all the freaking outfits in the closet, and then he was trying to find that boy. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That-
Dude, it's been so many years since I've watched a horror movie because I've got a pretty good imagination. And yeah, I, I don't miss the days of like running and trying to jump on my bed from 12 feet out. Like, fuck that. Yeah, I don't need that shit in my life anymore. Boys, one of the other things that came up in this pod that I wasn't really expecting, I thought it was going to be more along the lines of, well, how this conversation's gone, which is more like there's these filthy individuals that are trying to lure in kids for whatever, you know what I mean? Awful stuff. I don't even want to say, but there's a whole nother angle to this that I kind of had my mind blown to, which is there's other kids and there's these fucked up groups that I don't even know who or what they worship, but it's awful, awful stuff. And there's this whole like blackmail operation
oh yeah,
that goes on.
yeah.
Dude,
You can't even
this is,
Google this groups. It's like a number, 3-digit number thing. Have you
yep,
seen? And if you Google it, you're pretty much going to be on a list. But these, man, yeah,
crazy, Chris. I mean, so, and this was, I thought that I could maybe, when I was talking to my middle one there, Abby, I thought I could maybe like um assimilate more from that side of things, because I definitely don't want to get anything in her head surrounding like all that other stuff, like free candy on the side of a van and all that shit. So I was like, well, maybe this whole like blackmail or whatever you want to call it operation would kind of resonate a little bit more with her, because Well, and I'm a dad of 3 daughters too, right? And they're sort of coming into their own and coming of age and whatever. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is my approach or my angle. So I was like, you know, whatever you have on your phone, which, like I said earlier, these are more or less like bricks that text and call. But I'm like, you take a picture of yourself, right? And you think, oh, this is kind of cute, and I'm gonna text it to my friend or whatever. I'm like, you better be good with that picture being seen by anyone and everyone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to say something without saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
And so she's like, yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from. I'm like, because here's the thing. What these individuals are doing from, like you said, Joe, this 3-lettered group or whatever the fuck they are, they hack phones, right? Or they, whatever, they gain access.
Yeah.
And then they have this photo or this text thread or this whatever. And they say, listen, we've got all the information from your phone. So unless you want this going to the person that you said in that text message that you didn't want it going to, you need to do this, 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 and this. And it gets real bad. Like, I'm talking, there's kids that don't come out of this breathing. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like, and I mean, they bring up stuff. It's quite the podcast. If you listen to it, it'll rock you. I mean, I'm talking like pets don't make it out of this. If you know what I mean.
Yep.
Like, those are some of the requests from these people. They're fucked up human beings.
Yep.
They're not even human beings. I shouldn't even give them that gratification. They're
Yeah.
just filthy individuals. And
Like, what is that show where you get the people behind the scenes and they got the guys mic'd up and radioed up, and they're telling them what to do. Okay, oh, and we've made memes out of, okay, next, tell this guy this and that, and he tells it all, like, in the background. That's what they are, just on extreme. They're just playing with people's lives, like in real life. So it's disgusting. And yeah, like you said, some of these kids, they don't want to deal with it, or they don't know how to deal with it, and they end their own lives.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. So yeah,
it's worth it's worth a one-time listen. The guy that he has on, I never heard the first time he was on that podcast, but pretty interesting cat. There's a component of that pod where he's talking a little bit about his background, his history, whatever. Yeah, he is one of these guys that pretty much the people they make movies out of, right? Like, this person's a hacker, and through being a hacker, he finds a way to use it to good. And yeah, it'll blow your fucking mind on so many different levels.
His first podcast was really good. I didn't watch the second one yet, like I said, but his first one was really good. It did, just kind of confirm a lot of what you thought, that I don't know who that is, or you can, insert description here of said group of what they can do electronically, how they can get in. That's why, there's all these conspiracy. That's why they don't make phones where you can remove the battery easily, because even if your phone is off, it's not off. They can listen, they can activate the camera, they can, they can ping, they can grab all information off of it, they can do whatever they want. This goes back to, the Israeli software Pegasus, that they're on their second or third version of that now. And that used to be where you had to click on a link. And if you did that, activate the software within your phone. And the second version was where if they know your phone number, they can get in your phone. You'll never know they're there. If what happens is the software deletes itself after the data is removed. The software just self-delete and it's gone, and nothing is disturbed. So they could then do these blackmail operations, which is kind of like what's making up most of the media right now with all these politicians scrambling. It's all blackmail, and blackmail is big business, right? So huge.
But, taking this to maybe a little bit of a better level of things, but somewhat along the same lines, I couldn't help but think to myself when I was having this chat with Abby, saying to her, like, anything that you have on that phone, I said, let's just hypothetically say you're texting a friend and one of your other friends of that group pissed you off that day or whatever. And you're like, yeah, so-and-so is this and so-and-so is that. I'm like, you need to have a check valve built into yourself that says like, am I okay with the person that I'm speaking about reading this text to so-and-so? And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, which fuck it is already the way I live my life. I'm like, if I'm not willing to say this to someone else's face, then I'm not going to say it to this person's face. You know what I mean? Like, it's in a roundabout way, it's kind of brought me right back full circle to like some of those morals and values that you're raised with as a kid, right? Like, if you're not willing to call that person out to their face, why the hell are you going to say it to your other buddy?
But there's a lot of, I will say there's a lot of people out there that are more passive and need to vent more than anything. And sometimes that's enough for them to calm down, right? But there's a lot of people out there who get somebody else riled up and then they make that person go fight their battle for them too. But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, it's interesting because on teaching your kid that, you got to make sure that we're practicing it too, right? So
true, man. But I think that what this boils down to for me is like, if you're not aware of your own self enough to know these things, like, then you probably got bigger problems. And if you're the type of person that needs to bitch and whine to person A about person B, and you're not self-aware enough to know that the things you're probably bitching to person A to person B about is your own fucking problem that is deep down in your guts buried somewhere, then I don't know if we can help you. You know what I mean? Like, because so many of these things are just self-projections, right? Like the things that really aggravate the ever-living fuck out of you. Actually, funny little side note on this, because I do think about this quite often. I'm like, why am I so pissed off about left-hand lane drivers? Right? Is this a self-projection? I'm like, no, I'm the fucking guy. I go to the right lane. Like, I'm a right lane driver and I use the left lane to pass. So anyway, that one's a bit of an anomaly for me. But
at least you're asking the question. See, that's the whole point, right? And then you have to be honest with yourself and clarify, and so they can move on. But
but not enough people are doing that, Joe. That's the thing. Hey, like, you're not like, I don't know, you're not almost like exiting your own body and looking in from an outsider's perspective and going like, does this make sense? Or am I doing the right thing? Or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that's one that really floors me. Like, I think that's something that has been like removed from most people these days, is the ability to like reflect.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just a society issue that we have. Maybe it's people don't stop and where you quiet the noise around you, or you have that meditation, or you just turn off all your electronics, or you go on a walk without headphones. People aren't talking within themselves. That self-reflection is that conscious like voice speaking to yourself, right? So it's just everything's noise, content. I mean, you see that quite a bit. So people have all these problems.
A good metaphor for this is like, are you the type of person that, say, almost missed your turn and you're going to do the last minute, like, oh fuck, I got to do a left-hander here hard, and it's like you're probably like literally saying within the cab of the vehicle that you're driving to yourself, ah shit, I'm real sorry here, guys. Like, you're already doing the wave, like, I'm fucked. I really need to get off here. If I don't, I'm fucked forever. Are you that person? Or are you just the lady off of Family Guy, right? Just not even signal. Crank it.
Good luck, everybody.
Turning.
Good luck, everybody.
Which of those two people are you? And the answer to that question will probably tell you, are you a reflective person or not? You know?
kind of going back to that, turning things off and looking within, if you will. I think that's just part of our problem solving that's built into us as people. And people aren't solving their own problems because they're not doing that, right? Like they don't realize how powerful that is. Like to just be, you know, just quiet everything down and listen to the voice inside, and like you get pretty far because there's a lot of logic and reason within everybody if you're willing to like not listen to everything else and just kind of like listen to what's happening inside of you. You solve all your own problems. You can reflect and realize like, shit, I'm fucking up, or I really have been lazy, or you know, this person's really not my friend. You know, they're fucking using me. You know, that kind of thing. And you can be honest with yourself. But if you always have the headphone in, or the noise, or the screen on, or whatever, like you're not really giving yourself that time to figure things out. You're always looking for answers outside instead of looking for answers inside, right? So I think people aren't doing that as much. Yeah. Maybe what's wrong with people? I don't know.
I think so too, man. I you know, I got a buddy here locally to me that he always tells stories about. He's about, well, he'd be about 15 years older than me. So yeah, he turned 60 last year. You'd never know it if you seen him. Still in decent shape and whatever else. But he's always kind of talking about himself like, fuck, you know, I haven't done sit-ups in a while or whatever. And he'll like tell me about his conversations with himself where he's like, you lazy fucker, like go do something, right? Or, you know, you just want to sit around and do nothing, or go grab the tub of ice cream or whatever. And it's like, excuse me, you kind of have the angel on one shoulder, devil on the other, right? Go eat the ice cream, fatty. No, I don't want to eat the ice cream, you know, like, and it's like, no, like you gotta just, like you said, quiet the voice down and all the noise too, and just be like, what the hell is my heart and soul really telling me here? You know, like, is this a good thing or a bad thing? And to your point, bud, I think, yeah, people are so busy in their phones. It's like, you know, well, I guess this pod will come out on Monday. So if you're listening to this pod in and around the hours of like 7 to say 8:30, and you're going through anywhere where kids would be getting picked up on a bus, pay attention to what those kids are doing on the side of the road. I'm willing to bet you if there's a pack of 5 or more, 3 of them will have their faces buried in a phone.
Yep.
Doing Lord knows what.
Fucking, you know? In the crosswalk. Don't even look up. It's just unbelievable. It's just, it's not even just kids though. It's just sad that kids so are also, you know, having the same behavior as the adults, right? Because there's no longer adults in half the rooms because the adults are consumed by the screen in front of them. So how are they really parenting? I'm guilty of this too in my own way because, you know, I have social media and I'm on it. But I think one good thing about, you know, being asked to coach, it's a lot of extra work and it's tiring. Like I said, it's exhausting, but it puts a lot of things in perspective because I don't go out there with the intention of just coaching my son, right? It's like any and every kid that needs coaching, whether they're in a quarterback position or running back or wide receiver, offense or defense. If I have some knowledge and I can offer some tutelage, then I'm gonna give it to them in a way that I think would help them or help the team, right? So, but that consumes so much of my time that I spent less time, you know, just browsing marketplace or, you know, doing the death scroll or, you know, that type of thing. And I would go to my phone when I really needed some information. And sometimes I would, once I got it, then I would open Instagram and I'm like, oh, let's see what's going on over here. Oh, you know, see what my buddies are posting, you know, you know what? I like this. This is fucking hilarious. Give me this overlay. I'm going to make a little meme about this or whatever and put it up there. And then, you know, a lot of it was post and ghost, and I'll come back to it later and talk within the comments and stuff. But it gave me a lot of like reflection, like self-reflection and what's going on around me as well. And it's just getting back to feeling like an actual person and not just somebody who posts on Instagram or whatever. It's kind of nice, really. When you think about it, like there's You're teaching these kids there's more to life than just football, and what we teach you in football or baseball or whatever sport, like you're involved like with coaching, or whether you're just guiding young individuals, or just maybe even your own kids. It's kind of like whatever that is, like you can correlate the lessons within that sport or whatever to life. And hopefully, like Chris was talking about earlier with education and stuff, like hopefully they take that on and they use that for the better, and it helps them down the road, right? So I don't know. I think I didn't realize how much coaching was going to feel, give me like a fulfilling thing. So I feel a little bit like selfish in a way. It's kind of weird. Like you're helping other people, but you feel selfish because, like, man, it's like really fulfilling.
You know what though, buddy? I'll maybe try to add something to that for you, because I've coached my kids too, and in my own reflection of it all, something that I think I gained from it, which I can actually now appreciating it, I can apply it to other things, like driving an old foxbody, or I don't know, fucking doing something. I want to actually like correlate it to doing something that's sort of air quote dangerous, if you will, is it forces you to be present. So not that coaching is dangerous, but coaching forces you to be present. Like the second that you're not paying attention to a movement or a fucking play or whatever, you're done. Like you know what I mean? You lost the theme that you're there to appreciate. You drive an old fox body, maybe, well, fuck, even a stock one. Like you miss one you blow a shift, you fucking whatever. There's no driver assist. You're done. You're toast, right?
Yeah.
So I think one of the things to, like, people say like go for a walk in the bush or whatever, go appreciate a sunset. Sure, but I think the added component to that is like be as present as possible in that moment. Yeah. And social media will make you the exact opposite, right? You get, like you say, the death scroll or the whatever. That is the opposite end of that spectrum. But if you do something dangerous, or you do something that, well, doing something dangerous means that you have to be extra present. Just be as present as possible. That'll bring you back to like human status.
Correct. Yeah. I feel that. I like that. Must be present. I think that's I even
go run a fucking belt sander with a 2x4 tied into it for 15 minutes. Like that'll make you present.
Yeah.
Run a circular saw.
Maybe that's I know you guys film a lot when you're working on cars, but I usually don't that much. And I think for me, it might just be that moment of Zen, where you're just kind of like, it's just you and your problem solving, or you figure the problem out. Now you're just getting the work done, and you're kind of, your mind is doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's like, I enjoyed that a lot. Like, it's really hard for me to film while I'm working on cars. Like because I'm just, when I do, I feel like it slows me down so much, and it's kind of clunky, and then you're just trying to, I think it's impressive, like what you guys put out for content, because I'm like, dude, how the fuck, man? I'm over here, adjust the light, the angle, the camera, and then I'm worried about that. Right. And there's this level of consciousness, and then you have that, I forget what it's called, but there's, when something's being observed, right? When atoms at an atomic level are being observed, they actually will change direction and go. You've seen this before, I'm sure, because we share a lot of the same YouTube things to watch, Gary. But
the Schrodinger's effect.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's that whole, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make any noise? Like, because it's not being observed, so how do we fucking know, right? But it's
right.
When they put the camera on and they run this, this whatever test or experiment, the shit actually changes when the camera's, or when it's being observed. So like, I think that's where, you have the hair stand up on the back of your neck kind of thing, when you feel like somebody's watching you or whatever. You're being manipulated or affected on an atomic level, and we just pick it up within our senses. So when I put a camera on and I'm watching or myself, like I feel myself being watched by a camera. I know like I'm just recording myself, but it is odd. It's weird. It's distracting. You know, what the fuck? Where did I put that 10 millimeter? Like where did I put that wrench? Where did I put that ratchet? It's like you get distracted by stuff, right? So
You get used to it, man. You just gotta like not give a fuck.
yeah, I think that's for me. It's like hard to get. Like sometimes I'll do okay with it, and then I haven't done it enough to just care less. You know, going back to what I was saying earlier, like just care less, and then don't fucking worry about it, right? Don't give a fuck. But yeah, so
Yeah.
sometimes I get in the groove, it's okay, but most of the time it's like, wait, this is a dumb angle. This is stupid. So like all of a sudden I'm not thinking about fixing the car or cleaning the gasket material off. I'm just trying to set the fun cameras up.
Yeah. That's where you just need like 3,000 terabytes of hard drive space and you just record fucking the next 24 hours of shit, right?
Hell yeah.
But
dude.
Yeah, man. Being present is key. And to your point, dude, we've talked about this a few times on here where it's like, just getting out there, whether it be driving your car, if your car is drivable, or, picking the wrench back up and getting after it or whatever. And just remind yourself like why you're into these fucking things. You know what I mean? Like, because it doesn't take long. I know it's like anything. Like if you've fallen out of your routine exercising, or if you've fallen out of your normal diet or whatever it is, like it's always harder to get back into it. But if you just take that goofy little step, and I know this sounds super cheesy and cliche, but it's the old adage, right? Like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Fuck yeah.
Funny,
like just
funny to say that my whole foxbody consumption has been, so I've had a very low foxbody diet for probably, a couple of months here, right? So this week I've been gorging and just driving the piss out of the car. Is whatever I'm driving, I just go fill up the gas and just drive it, and then put more gas in it and drive it some more. And then I think, Gary, you've been posting like pictures of your car. Like, I'm like, this is the same place you live? Because it's like, here, there, whatever, all these pictures. These are fucking nice pictures. But Screen Puff has no stereo in it whatsoever. I've taken all the speakers out, right? There's 0 speakers in that car right now.
Lightweight.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to build a nice stereo for it. That's what it is. And the stuff that I want's ungodly expensive, so I can't justify spending the money. So I'm like still in limbo. I'm trying to figure out a cost effective but really good way to build a nice stereo for that. But I had put the old Alpine, it's like a CDA 9586, I believe, in the red car from Screen Puff, because the red car had a 9585, I believe, but the amp went out, so you couldn't listen to the radio. And I don't have any. I mean, I have my amps and stuff, but I don't know what I want to do with them yet. So I wasn't going to put them in this car anyway. So I put Screen Puff's, head unit in this car. Now I got a CD player, I got stereo, I got aux if I want, whatever. But it sucks when you listen to everything on Bluetooth now, right? It's like you want access to your full library and everything else.
Wait a second. You just said you have aux though.
Right, but I don't have the aux cable for that unit, and like the aux on that unit
is a Unilink.
Yeah, but the plug on the back of this thing, I could take the old one apart that came out and take the one I put in. I have to make a good one out of one stereo. Because the aux on that was in Screen Puff was messed up. So sorry.
She's all pre-USB shit.
Yeah. But
so here's where I'm going with this, because if the aux is what I think it is, because Alpine used the same Unilink cable plug that Sony used, which was like this weird fucking proprietary connector. So
you're going exactly where I think you're going, and you're right. And I did what you said, what you're going to tell me to do.
So you get the dongle off eBay to activate the RCA ports so you can get the Bluetooth transmitter, which your aux then becomes Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And
What do you? I don't know. What do you win? You win something. Yeah. So I did that. It was like $11.32. I actually got it off Amazon, and it sounds like CD quality. It's fucking nice. And so now the red car is so much more enjoyable to drive. So like the last 2 days, I've just been driving a long way home or wherever to freaking play more music and fucking drive the shit out of it. And it's like, man, it's like the good old days.
Doesn't the red car, like, it's got some snotty motor in it, doesn't it? Like, isn't it a 363 or some fucking thing?
Yeah, it's a dart block 363.
Yeah.
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 When are we going to see some fucking decent pulls out of that thing then? All we ever get to see is it idling into the shop.
The value just went up on it too, right? Because didn't Dart just file bankruptcy, or like the
Are you
forgery?
serious?
The forgery where Dart gets their blocks from filed for
no.
bankruptcy or something like that. So somebody made a post up like there's very limited availability, and then you're gonna have to wait.
Shit. I was thinking
I
was thinking it's not the Iron Eagle or anything. It's just a regular, what is it? What do they have? Sportsman or SHP, whatever. Some shit. I don't know.
Oh, I think, no, isn't the Sportsman, that's a sought after one. That's one of the older original ones, I thought.
I think so. I think the Iron Eagle is like their top shape one, isn't it? It's their like base model block or whatever.
Listen to how like this guy's trying to play it down like he doesn't have a fucking $4,000 fucking block in there.
Or Volt Main, yeah.
Dart. Holy hell.
And what heads are on that car then, Joe? Instead of like 205 fucking something rathers?
They are 205. They're 11R 205 trick flows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be a snotty little rig.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It has no boost, so it's kind of different than the rest of the cars that I drive. But she boogies, yeah, she goes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it had that much power until I kind of needed to like drop a gear and get over, and I did it on purpose. I will admit there was a Porsche that was kind of messing with me in morning traffic or whatever, and it kind of opened up, and I needed to kind of get out of the lane I was in anyway. So I said, "Fuck this!" I just dropped it the second. I think I was going probably like 20 or 30 miles an hour, so it gave me a lot of RPM. And it just took off, and this Porsche tried to go, and then I hit third, and it was just fucking gone. I was like, wow, that felt really, really good. That was after I kind of like had fixed up a lot of the things that needed attention.
Yeah, that thing fought you out of the gate, didn't it?
Yeah, it was fun. I knew what I was getting into. It was just one of those, kind of just rat's nest of wires, and there's still more I got to pull out, but I got so much out of there. For me, it's weird because I know Gary's like kind of OCD, and Chris, you're very detail oriented too, I can tell, but I get a car to where I feel like I can have fun with it and I can enjoy it, and I kind of slow down a little bit and just kind of start just driving it and feeling it out and see what I like or what I don't like. And then it's I am the unfinished project king, I feel like. It's like
as long as it drives, you're good.
If I get it to a point like, man, it looks good, sounds good, and like I like the hunt to find them. I think I'm addicted to where trying to locate these things. People always trip out on that, and for me it's like just pure determination, to find these cars, and then when I
You're
find
the hunting guide.
Yeah, that's what it
You're
is.
the guide. You get everybody on the animals. You like hunting them down and finding them, but somebody else shoots them.
No, I like to bag them too. Don't get me wrong, but but when and then for me it's like I like when they look horrible, and then I'll paint correct it myself. I'll do some of like the trim restoration stuff, and then I'll get them on a good like stance and wheels and stuff, and then I'm like, yeah. And everybody saw what the car was before, like, holy shit. And then that's where kind of like
this is the coach in you.
Yeah, it's like,
right?
It's
that's the thing. Like, you're fucking taking this whatever. Like, you see all the potential, right? It's like each and every one of you guys or gals or whatever, right? You got all this potential, and you just need a new set of wheels.
Well, just like
a little more company stuff.
Like these cars are kind of like the players, or you're not going to have them forever. But to me, it's like if you can make them better, than when you first found them. You know, like pass them on in much better condition, and somebody else can take over at a certain point, right? So, you know,
Hell
it's
yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus, it costs a lot of money to build every one of them, right? So,
it does.
speaking
I
of,
thought,
oh, go ahead, Gary.
well, I was gonna say, okay, staying on the 93 Cobra here. I thought
Yeah.
when Chris brought up I didn't know if he was gonna say brought up the value or brought down the value. I thought he was gonna say, yeah, because there's some fucking idiot that's putting a T-top in a 93 Cobra out there.
That's where I was gonna go. It's funny because I never did like the red Cobras. Like the teal was always like really nice. The black was slick, but I could have bought a black one from one of my friends, but that was it was a stock car, and he found it, and the paint was kind of like real oxidized, and he didn't leave it stock. He put heads cam intake on it, and he kept all the stock parts, and then he had it painted, and he did the body work himself. And I was gonna go buy it, and I was doing an inspection on the car, and I didn't get very far. Right behind the passenger side strut tower, there was like rust flowering into the engine bay, and I'm thinking like,
Oh boy.
you know, I just had chopped a bunch of rust out of Nacho Blanco coupe, and I'm thinking like, fuck, man, it's kind of, do I really want to take on any more rust? And I could have. It was a good price and everything. He had all stock parts, but I was just like thinking, man, how did they miss this? Like, what else did they miss? So I just got turned off a little bit by it. So I was like, and I don't need any other cars. It's just, you know, it was an opportunity to have another Cobra. I didn't have the red car at the time. This is a while ago, but he ended up selling that car to somebody else. And I don't know if they ever fixed the rust or what, but who knows? Maybe it'll come my way sometime. We'll
Circle
see.
back.
You never know. But yeah, T-tops on Cobras. That was pretty slick, dude. Like, pretty gutsy too. But I dig it.
You know,
yeah.
I actually fucking I just thought of this now, and I know I think we talked about this one other point when we were bringing up that red Cobra, but like doing the T-top. Okay, so you're obviously saving a Cobra, and now you're gonna throw some tweaks to it that 93 Cobras didn't have. And I know what a color change looks like, but like, how much fucking better would this be if you're painting it white?
You know, if I were going to do, to be honest, if I was going to do a
I
color
love spending
change,
other people's money too, by the way.
Wait. What about since we're talking about color change? What if, because you're not putting a push rod in it, right? You're doing a Coyote swap or something, or Godzilla. What are you doing, Godzilla?
That's push rod.
Well, sorry, not a old school 302 push rod. We're doing
Yeah,
it is a Godzilla. Okay.
Yeah.
What? Okay. I mean, I don't know. I saw you pick the color. It's a red. I didn't see the. Did you put a video out yet, or is it just a post?
Just a post.
Just a post. Okay.
I don't think I'm going to tell anybody the color that I picked, because the reality is, like, a majority of the foxbody population can't even probably match their t-shirt to their pants. So, like, asking them for style advice is probably like,
Gary,
you know what I mean? Like,
I'm actually
I mean
wearing
that with all respect, you know what I mean? And then the other 30% are probably colorblind. So, you know what I mean? They don't even know what shade of red they're looking at. So,
right.
I'm trying to do what's best for the car to a certain extent, because I hate red at all levels. And like, the first red that I sort of gravitated towards was like the Imola red on my one BMW. But it's like, that's way too dark. Sick color, like, for a red, but it would take away. So I feel like those three that I had were all very like within the family, the vibrant being the most orange and
Right.
nasty, in my opinion. But
So your goal is to still have it kind of like play the part a little bit.
yeah, because like, well, resale red, you know what I mean? It is a Cobra, so like, red sort of does belong. And I feel like if I change the color, then that's really just personalizing it to me and what I want to do. And I have no intentions of keeping this car.
Okay.
I'm
So
putting
you,
that out there right now. Like, to me, I'm building this car. When I unload it, that money is going to go towards my 65 Lincoln. And, that'll sort of be, because my Lincoln's literally getting pushed off as, this project's come into my life, bad decisions. But Gary, to answer your question, that if I was going to change the color, I'd paint that fucker yellow.
Oh, really?
oh
Yeah.
shit!
But why not
Because
do the
there's
one
tons
color
of
that
white.
Ford didn't do?
There's tons of white clones.
Well, you could do a Mystic.
You know what? I've actually never been a fan of chameleon mystics. The flippy floppy stuff is just too. I actually quite enjoy. It's one thing that I have to say. I do like the fact that the red is a flat, non-metallic color.
Hmm.
Like,
Dude,
there's something to be said
okay.
about it, just a solid color that doesn't have added bells and whistles.
This red Cobra has definitely grown on me. Like,
Yeah.
it is. You don't see, like, okay, so you go drive in traffic, everything is silver, gray, champagne, black, white, or
Looks
pearl.
clean, even if it's dirty. Yeah.
But that's like majority of traffic. Like, you're driving a fucking vibrant red, vibrant orange, we should call it, fucking fox body out in traffic. Dude, you cannot hide. You better mind your P's and Q's and wave when people let you in. And it's like you're gonna end up on half the Facebook pages for reckless drivers, and there's no.
Well, that's how I feel when I drive the yellow notch. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like,
dude. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
There's no yellow cars.
No.
Unless it's a Lamborghini or something.
Yeah. So, and I think, the goal for me, which I like, is sort of like the mindfuck game of, okay, hey, that's a 93 Cobra, but there's something different about it. Like, is the paint just really that shiny? It's going to be no, it's actually a slightly different shade that just looks better. But you wouldn't know it unless you park next to a vibrant red car. Then you're like, oh, okay, that's two different colors.
Yeah.
So that's sort of kind of what I'm going for in that
Are you
respect.
going for like OEM appearance? So like maker style wheels, widened? No, something different.
No, with the makers. So that'll be something that's specific to me, and there'll be like a couple like modern little tweaks, but like no fender flares, and like just subtleties. And like, again, I'm gonna block sand out the body. Like, the body lines are gonna be sharper than factory. So just little things like that. Like, lock cylinders are getting shaved off.
Yeah, saw that.
Keeping handles, just stupid shit. And then it'll have the tip, low and big wheel component to it.
So, okay, here's an interesting mind game. So with this thing going like hypothetically a better shade of red, how, without the context of say this podcast or a conversation with you or whatever, how does that car stand on its own in a sea of other Fox bodies, let's say, and not have somebody walk by and go like, that's not the original color, it's just a Cobra clone?
And that's fine.
I'm just genuinely saying that, like, versus say like going all white. I mean, that's drastic, don't get me wrong, but you know what I mean? Like, they kind of fall into that same category. Do you see where I'm going with that?
Was it
I
Midway
think
Mustang, or who's that guy? Merchant bought his, I think it was a 408 stroker GT in like Avalanche gray. But he owns like a
no, that was wasn't that Fox Body or Parts Farm?
Parts Farm.
Yeah, it was Nardo Gray.
So he has a 93 Cobra that they painted. Is it white? He has a
Oh,
Cobra.
I don't know.
Painted it white, and then he
Might
put a I believe it had a GT 500 motor in it for a while, and then they had a problem with the motor, so they yanked that, put a Coyote with a Predator blower swap, I believe is what they did. But I think it was white, or Avalanche white or something like that. So
Huh.
there's one out there if you want to look it up. It's interesting.
He was one of the first guys that I think was farting around with that whole Nardo Gray program, right? When it first sort of came to
Yeah.
fruition.
Yeah, it was Parts Farm.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, to I guess answer your question, Gare, like it's like technically, yeah, you could say, oh, maybe that's a clone, or people are gonna be like, oh, why'd you change the wheels? For instance, or why aren't they makers wheels, which we know is a bullshit comment when you could literally within 15, 20 minutes swap all the wheels to
Yeah.
whatever you want. So I feel like it's going to be a blend. Like I want some of the elements of a 93 Cobra to stay true to it, but obviously not trying to keep everything OE at the same time. So it's like I don't want to make it where I want the story of this car could have been scrapped, but it wasn't. And just kind of keeping, so like when you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's, it looks like a 93 Cobra. Maybe it looks a little bit different, but you still would give it the benefit of the doubt that it is. And then from there, okay, it's been heavily modified in every, because there'll be not a part that hasn't been touched in some shape, way, or form. But at the same time, I mean, can kind of just open up people's minds and just think differently about it, but still have that pedigree to it. Because yeah, otherwise it's just build a GT, or why save that car? And there's no there was no value putting that car back to stock. Like you'd be upside down no matter how
Inside out.
you do it. So, or unless maybe like whatever, they skyrocket in price again in another 10 or 20 years or something, but I don't see that happening.
No, it's true. Actually, the part of the white, it almost fucking pains me to say this, because I know we can't go into any more detail with it, and I don't know, maybe we can share with this intel with Joe after, but the shit we were talking about earlier with it, kind of like is where my mind was going with the white. And then that play on the interior, say back to the old color, or at least little bits and pieces of it. I was like, fuck. I mean, I hate to say it, but it almost goes down like the Vanilla Ice road of his vert.
No, I get that. And I think part of me too is like knowing now, because I didn't know before the Martin Brothers build, like the first 3 pace cars were actually T-tops, and then the rest were all ended up being sunroof cars. So to me, it's sort of like that was the whatever specialty car of 79, the first year that had T-roofs. And now it's sort of like, okay, well, let's take the special car of 93 and throw a T-roof in it. So sort of like, there's the start, here's the end. And we got to remember that the first handful of 93 Cobras are a single stage non-clear coat car that parked next to a clear coat car. There's no way that color looks like I haven't seen the two parked next to one another, but I can almost guarantee there's no way that those two are going to look the absolute same, one being single stage, one being a clear coat. And I feel like the variation that I'm going with, again, unless it was parked in next to another one, it's just going to be like, that's really, really nice paint on that car, and nobody's actually going to know any different, that it's not vibrant red.
What is that one of yours, or what was it? I guess, was it a single stage?
No, mine, it was a base clear car. Like, I think if it was a single stage car, then that would, shit, maybe Joe, you'd know more than me, but that would maybe have made it merit being put back as close to original as possible, because like I think you can validate that through the VIN, and if you could, then like you're sitting on a diamond, really.
They're kind of rare. I haven't ever seen one hit the market. So
Like I think there was only 12 or something. Like the number is like stupid low.
I think it's 30, but yeah, it's not a lot.
Well, what the fuck was Josh telling us about it? Oh, maybe he was saying that like
some of them,
was something weird with the ground effects.
Yeah, some of them, the ground effects stayed single stage, but the cars got clear coat.
Clear, right? Yeah. But has anyone ever heard the story as to why that occurred? Or maybe that was Josh's $1 million question.
I think it was just like that's what got sprayed. Like they had a bunch sprayed that way, and then they just got perfect. I remember I brought up the point of how NPD had some new old stock Cobra pieces at one point, and they were already pre-painted teal, or they were already pre-painted whatever, and it was sort of like whether they were blems or like it was sort of like, or was it just surplus shit? And then they rebranded it as NOS, right?
It's 29.
29?
There was 9?
No, just 9.
Oh, 9. Okay.
9 were made. So yeah, if that was a early pre-production type of deal, but it's not. I'm glad that you're doing what you're doing to it, because people are very reluctant to chop Cobras up or Saliens up, but in this case, like, you're doing it a favor. You're it's always going to be a saved car no matter what, because so you can do whatever the hell you want with it. If you put it back on the road, you're doing it a favor, right? So it's the perfect opportunity to make something wild out of one. So it makes all the sense in the world. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And I feel like T-tops are like trending.
I feel like they've always been trending since foxbodies kind of had their big uptick in that type of thing. I think people have sought after them. It's always like something you hear. Even people that aren't of the foxbody community will always bring up, oh man, yeah, we had an 87 T-top or something like that. Like, that's the coolest car. I'm like, it's just maybe because it's just like you can keep saying what it is. You're just adding on like it's a 1987 foxbody GT Mustang T-top. You get that last little share stop. Like, it's like
where you're running out of breath. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh man. So
hey, fuck Joe. That reminds me, dude. We at one point in time in this podcast, we said we were going to do this with everybody, but I don't think we've ever done it with you. What would you have ordered? And like year, everything. I'm guessing it would have been 87 through 93, if I'm whatever. Put words in your mouth, but 87 to 93. What year and what would you have ordered if you had the opportunity?
Dude, I don't know, man. I think I would have taken that brochure home and circled everything. Oh yeah.
Color? Could you even nail it down to color?
I don't know. It just, maybe that's why I'm the way I am with these cars, because fuck, man. Like, I would have never chosen them
all, yeah.
I wouldn't have gone back and ordered a 1989 Almond hatchback. Like,
right.
that wouldn't have been on the list. This shit wouldn't have been on the list. I'm just stuck with it, and I'm loyal. So you got.
But that's the one you'll never sell.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I ever will, but But
oh, really?
I'm getting older, right? So I'm not saying that it's for sale or I'm going to sell or anything. I'm just saying, like, it's like what I coach or what I teach. Like,
never say never.
Never say never. Life is bigger than football, right? Like, life is bigger than fox bodies and Mustangs and car parts and all that stuff. I mean, what would you do for your family, right? Like, but I don't think my family would ever let me sell it. So you also have that too, right? It works both ways. But
that's an intense thought, dude. Because I mean, I know, like, I've really put my wiener in the wind when it comes to this one, this fucking silly car over my shoulder. But like, put it this way. I mean, things would have to be real fucking bad.
We're talking like yeah, that's what you exactly.
Like
we're
kidneys.
Mine is the same thing, or maybe it's an apocalyptic situation, and it's one of those things where there's not even roads to drive on. So what the fuck are you gonna do with this car? Like, I don't know. Well, but there's somebody out there who's rich and who build a road on their property who can drive it. I don't know. But
see, I've thought that far ahead, dude. I mean, I've got a carbureted lower intake manifold. I'm fucking swapping it. Like EMP attack, I'm covered.
Shit, man. Yeah, it's I don't think I'd ever sell that car ever. I've always said no, and I think just now was the first time I've ever said what I just said. You know, I didn't even really say it. You said it. Just I think we should bring that back. But yeah, I don't know. My first Fox, you know, I think I'm getting old because I always thought it was deep emerald green, like your coupe, with a two-tone, a 92. It was a former patrol car, like a Big Island police officer had it. And but you know, I go back in my mind and I swear it could have been reef blue. I don't know. At this point, I don't even know. You know, I have to go back and find the title or registration and get the VIN so I can kind of decode it. And I have an old reg somewhere or an old title for it somewhere because it went to scrap. I fell asleep at the wheel and crashed that car. I had talked about that on one of the pods before, I'm pretty sure. But yeah. Right. But either way, they're both nice colors. But again, I didn't choose it. It kind of chose me, right? It was the only Fox body on the used car lot. So it's like, yeah, this is cool, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a color that I just see and it just excites me. You know what I mean? Like, of all the cars on the internet and everybody's beautiful builds, black is always like really nice. White, I like white because, you know, I don't mind running, you know, black wheels and that monochrome look. But I don't know. It's not one of the ones that I ever really put a lot of thought, so I don't have a prepared answer for you. I'm sorry. Like,
right.
I will say this vibrant red has really grown on me, but I still would think I like the teal cars more. They're a little more subdued, and they're kind of like, you don't see that color either out there.
Man, just
would
go
you
to
have done teal?
Foxtoberfest. All the teal cars are there.
It's weird. You know, if you see a lot of the teals lined up, even the factory painted ones, and you'll see, like, if you go down, these cars, depending on what day they were painted, that they don't match. Like even to where some panels on the cars don't match, but like really like a car to the next car to the next car to the next car. Like you could have 5 different cars and 5 different, like more green on this side, more blue on this side kind of thing. So, you know, that, to me, that's kind of odd. Like whoever's mixing the paint didn't have their coffee that morning, or, you know.
Well, the reality could be like it just temperature variance or like pressure variance, you know, the way the metallic is.
I know, Chris, but that's not as funny as the coffee.
Yeah.
But you're right. Of course, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So has teal grown on you over the years, or was teal always a hot topic for you?
Really, what got me with teal was the kind of raw, gnarly teal legit car with a 347 and that loud, old school T trim in it, the race T trim. That car used to pass by my house. So when I was introduced to that color, it was the first time I actually seen a teal Cobra in real life, and instead of just like in the magazine, right? And you also got all this tones and noise and the whistling and the 3-inch exhaust, and that car is pretty much still set up the same exact way it was when I saw it back in like 2000 or whatever it was. Yeah, very old school build. You know, D&D has a D&D coilover and K member, and yeah, it's not. I mean, for its time, it was okay stuff, but it was still cheap shit back then. So it's not really set up well. It's just a real rowdy car. The thing is,
right,
bounce your fillings loose, and yeah, it needs rebuilt shocks in the back, and it's got SN95 axles. It's 5-lug converted, so it's got some small whatever brakes, and then yeah, that car is all sorts of messy, but there's no rust in the cowl areas and stuff. There's rust in the rear fender lips because somebody rolled them or something, and it ate itself up. So Yeah, that car, that's another long-term project. Just cleaned up the interior a little bit, cleaned up all the wiring, made it run and drive, and makes 12 pounds of boost on a 347 with a TKO 600 behind it. Yeah, it's a fun one.
So, okay, straighten this out for me, buddy. There's Taylor Swift, and then there was Teal Legit?
Feel legit, yeah. That's the
Two different.
yeah, they're two different. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, fuck. I had those cross-threaded then. Shit.
yeah, yeah. Feel legit
Different
is
wheels on either one, though, right? That's okay. Maybe that's why I had it fucked up.
what's that?
There's different wheels on each car.
Oh yeah, yeah. Makers are on the Feel legit. I'm gonna really
Right.
fuck it up because I have a chrome set of makers. I'll probably put on Taylor Swift. So
Oh, you got a silver set and a chrome set.
yeah. He had
Right.
that like stupid like 40% off sale, and I was like, I don't have a chrome set, and I couldn't decide when I bought the ones for the red car because I didn't want to 5-lug the red car. I just want to keep it 4-lug, just fix a bunch of the stuff. So I couldn't decide, so I just went with the safe route and got the silver wheels because I really like it. And somebody, I think Angel, Cabernet Fox, he was sending me some pictures of a buddy there. But it's always at night kind of thing. So, but he has a, I think it's a red fox with white stripes. Is that the one? There's one of his buddies has chrome makers on a red Cobra over there. I think he was the one sending me pictures, but can't really tell. Then another guy was sending me pictures of his car, and I think I put a poll in one of my stories. I can't decide between chrome or this or that. These guys are sending me pictures, but I was like, fuck, man. You got to see it in person. I think chrome, because it's not as defined because you have a lot of like reflectiveness. So like it picks up whatever's in the background or the asphalt or concrete or whatever, right? So kind of hard to tell the wheel when it's chrome, unless it's like a traditional 5-spoke. But these are so busy, for a chrome wheel that. So I ordered them anyway, like later on. He had I think it was like 40% off. I don't know what he was doing that day, but I ordered a set of wheels, and they've been sitting in the back of the warehouse. Trying to figure out what to put them on, right? But I don't know. It's fun stuff. Chris knows. You forgot what wheels he has. I know what wheels I have. I think. I'm not like you. We're not the same.
I know I've got a set. I've got a set of the silver 4-lug staggered makers wheels sitting in boxes, and then in my head I'm like, am I ever going to use these?
No.
Like,
you might put them on car for them.
What I'll probably end up doing is keeping my black Cobra 4-lug, and I'll just have those wheels for that car because I probably won't end up keeping that one either. It's probably is the reality. So, and somebody's going to want that. Sort of like I have chrome Mavermont ponies that I'll never put on one of my cars, but somebody else wants them on a car I sell. Yeah.
We put them on that 93 Royal Blue GT.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have them, I guess, in my back pocket for the 93 Reef car that I have that's going to go and bring a trailer. So it'll sort of be like an option if somebody wants a wheel swap.
An upgrade.
Yeah.
What are they? 17s or 18s?
17s.
And then 9s and 10s, or?
Yep.
Nice.
Hey, Joe, what would it cost to bring a car over from the island?
Me?
Yeah, just out of curiosity.
Out of curiosity, yeah.
Hypothetically.
I don't know. Can't say I've been looking recently. Well, I was starting to look, and then I realized I service a lot of aviation people that have the ability to fly cargo and freight and stuff. And I might next Thursday have a discussion with one of my guys and see what it would take to fly a car up there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I was going down this whole thing. I was gonna actually talk to you about logistics and what your plans are for pits, right?
Right.
So you know, obviously I live on an island, and you know, I'm kind of ignorant to traveling on the mainland, so I have no idea what. I just know it's going to take forever to drive from like where you're at
Right.
down to where Pitts is.
Yeah.
So why don't you do this?
Okay,
If
I'm
you're
listening.
smart,
Go ahead.
you should
If you,
don't just like commit to the year in a sense. Like, I'm not saying that you need to travel or stay over here the whole time, but like if you did pick a car and you sent it over and then you gave the car a home base where you could say do pits, and then you have like Mustang Week Texas, which is technically kind of not that far away, and then you could like I don't know, pinpoint or like just figure out your calendar so that way you just kind of like fly over or whatever. But your car is like, or like keep your car on the mainland for like a year is what I'm getting at. So you can actually get, the value of having it here. Number one. Number two, you could actually go to some of these shows for once. And I mean, just have it curated
yeah, that
while
was
you're not around.
that's kind of the I think back in what 23. This was like the grand idea, and but man, money just seems to be spent before you got it a lot of times, right? And it's you got things that you just have to take care of, and but we might be at the point here soon where I could make this grandiose idea or this tour or whatever we might call it like happen. It's kind of like something like that. It's funny because I kind of got cornered by Mr. Schwenzer and Mr. Jackass here. Fucking guilty. Just random text
We should
message.
read some of those text messages. Holy fuck, it was good.
And,
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall in that Snap-on truck when those were coming through. Holy fuck.
it was completely while I was running the business that day too. So I just start cracking up. And my guys are looking at me like, "What?" Like, no, nothing. And then I let all my guys that were like on the truck read it, and they're like, "Oh man, you gotta fucking go." And I'm like, "Well," so the idea is, the whole Screen Puff thing is just AI. It was, it was never real. So, but yeah, I think I wouldn't want to put my car on a boat. I think I would rather fly it up there. And I know some guys who have done that for shows, but these guys, they got a lot more money than I do. And I know when they did it, it wasn't as much as you think. It was, I think, around $3,000 to fly it, which seems fucking reasonable to me. Like, but I'm sure now it's probably quite a bit more. Now, coming back to Hawaii, it costs more because goods are always shipped in, and the vessels or the planes tend to leave empty. So you get a one-way deal to get that plane back. It kind of pays for their fuel to get their stuff back, and they make a little bit of money, right? But they're more reasonable going this way to over there. So, but I was thinking something along the lines of, making a tour out of it, if you will, kind of thing, or I don't know what Gary's doing that time of the year, or if he's bringing his car, or how, if he is, how is he bringing it? Where's a good place to port my car, like to get it from here to there? Do I just pay extra and have it all the way there? I'm sure it's going to cost a stupid amount of money. Or do we make it a big, 1 week or so family event where we ship the car up, and then rent a rig and rent a trailer or something, and we just go see the world.
Yeah.
Stop every now and then, like Gary did, and take pictures here and there with the car. I'm like, wow, fucking Screen Puff made it all the way over here. Like, that's fucking crazy, right? Like, and then get there and everybody can see how terrible of a car it is, but falling down the parking lot when you're turning all the way, and yeah, it does all the same shit that you guys stuff.
Yeah, all the same rattles and squeaks.
Yeah.
Dude, so I can probably make your life seem a heck of a lot easier from like West Coast to wherever, I think probably your biggest pill to swallow would be just over the water. That would be the heaviest hit of them all. Yeah, once you're on land, I got a couple ideas for you for sure. Um, I think, like along the lines that Chris is running with, if you had the time and I guess you could kind of organize your life for that year such that you could make it worth your while. Shit, that'd be a fucking beauty way of doing it. Now, the other side of this though is like, obviously, hence your fucking name on social media, like you'd want to bring Scream Puff, but like shit, if you could bring one that maybe didn't come home, but that would kind of defeat the purpose of the whole Scream Puff thing, right?
Right. No, I've thought about that. I've thought about even just looking at, reaching out to people that I trust as far as, what would storage look like? Gosh, like it. Part of the reason you get into this hobby is because you don't trust anybody with your shit. Half of it is that, right? So it's like,
Yep.
now you're talking about leaving, definitely one of your prize position, if not multiple, with people that you trust, and you see how they are and they're like you, but you just have like that other little hump to get over. But yeah, I think leaving Scream Puff in the mainland would feel very empty around here, like not having my car, but also it would be really like it's one of those things like in life, like you just got to kind of swing for the fences sometimes, right? So
Yeah.
it'd be pretty freaking epic though. Come all the way from Hawaii and try to make that rounds with this fucking car that I've had forever. And
guy, I don't want to fucking like sit here and blow a bunch of hot air up your skirt, and I'm honestly not. But like, this is the reason Schwenzer and I fucking leaned in. Like, I honestly think you would be the closest thing to fucking Vanilla Ice showing up to these goddamn car shows. Like, because like all jokes aside, though, like seriously, and in all seriousness, it's just such an outrageous commitment. Like, this is me and my family's trip on steroids. Like, you're literally fucking bringing a car over the ocean. I mean, this is outside of like smart. This is dumb.
Well, and aside from Gary's, you're going to be a famous celebrity walking around at the shows. I can tell you from taking the shows away from it. So like when I sent my BMW from Dubai over to Texas and then did the full 3,000 miles across the US in it with a couple buddies of mine. And there was no shows, there was no whatever, but like that experience in doing that was like hands down worth. And like, cause like, man, I had to get like international EPA clearance so that I could ride on Dubai number plates and like international insurance coverage and like export paper. Like it was not an easy thing to do in any respect, but was worth every effort around that. So if you added on to that the car shows and the meet and greet of the celebrity here, maybe you're like signing autographs and stuff too, then
I think so. I think
it's a
maybe they'll
win.
print a meme out that I gotta, put my thumb.
Not AI. Hashtag not AI.
But if you do need a place for it, I do have I actually, since I've moved stuff around, I do have room. So keep it in mind,
boy.
I guess.
Yeah, I think that's the easy hurdle, bud.
Yeah.
Actually, the hardest hurdle that I see in this, and I know it's always easier to look at someone else's situation than it is your own, but the hardest hurdle I would say would be one, car from one little area to one big mainland area, and getting your year planned out such that, you and the fam could make it worth everyone's while?
I think the schedule, logistically, I mean, the hard part, honestly, is like every time we jump on a plane as a family, you're spending thousands of dollars just
Yeah.
to go, in your basic coach, but I will say this. We have a 14-month-old, which we're going to have to start paying for when she's 2. So might as well start this shit now, right?
This is guy math. I like this. Guy math. Yeah.
But, we were talking about making sure that we do travel this coming year. And that might be the way to do it. Where
Have the kids been to the mainland yet?
Yeah, they went. I sent them to Jacksonville to see their grandpa, and their great grandma was going through what she was going through at the end of her life and stuff. So they went and spent time, and it was really, really nice. I didn't get to go. I hold it down here at work. We also have a 17-year-old puppy, so she requires quite the bit of, once she stands up in the morning, you got to carry her outside before she just lets it all out on the floor, right? So it's like, oh, there she is. I'm just having my coffee, waiting for her to get up. It's like, oh,
yep.
But she's still there. She's still conscious. She's still, walking around doing her thing. She likes her pets and her ears rubbed and all that fun stuff. And we're just like, we thought she was old when she was 12. What the hell is happening?
Right.
She's gonna be 18 in April.
Holy shit!
Fucking register for her to vote, or I don't know, So, but yeah, so we don't know when. It's kind of hard to think about her not being here either, But we know we're not stupid. We know like she can't live forever, right? So,
yeah.
But I don't know. It would be really, really, really sad to do one of these trips, and we have like our, one of the grandpas over here come check on her every day, and then she's not here when we get back, So
yeah, true.
I could never forgive myself for doing that, and then taking my family. And it's just like, I'm always going to be the one point the finger at, because it was me, right? So it's part of the reason why we, in the last couple of years, where we probably could have made stuff happen, we didn't do anything really big, just like real quick, quick, where we're kind of still around. Yeah. But, we did a 23. We went to go watch a 49ers game, which is awesome. So we were just there for the weekend, but we made the most out of it. We rented a car. We went to go see like the Redwood Forest. The kids had a blast. We walked through there. There was like deer that came down, like literally like 3 feet from us. And then like a mommy came, and then like 2 little fawns came or whatever. And I was like, what is this? The kids never see stuff like this, right? We went to the Golden Gate Bridge. That was crazy. Just being there. It's cold. It's windy. It's like, it's nothing like Hawaii, right? So it's just like everything's huge. Drove through San Francisco up like the most steepest hills. Like Sonia got out and said, I want to try and walk it up. So she walked up, like, and I'm like, we had a Honda. What was it? Not the Pilot, but the one below that, like a
CRV.
Oh no, sorry. It was a Toyota. It was a RAV4. That's right. They were going to give us a Honda. We got a brand new car. Like it had like 12
Same
miles.
shit.
Yeah, same shit. But that thing was like struggling to get up this hill. And I was trying to go next to her. I'm like, I can't. The car's going to roll backwards, so I'll meet you at the top. So I'm like fucking driving up this hill. She gets up there and she's huffing and puffing, and her fucking quads are burning. And I'm like, get in. Like then we went down like the crooked road or whatever. And yeah, it's just a blast. The kids, they talk about it all the time, and I can't believe it's been 2 years, coming up next month. And I'm like, I want to be able to do more of that kind of stuff for them, so that, they have these memories that are forged where we just, it's just the time spent. Like, I don't remember being on my phone much at all that whole time. I don't think the kids were either. We were just doing stuff or tired or just together, so, but
that shit matters, bud.
It does. I think so too. I think that's how you make good people, stuff like that. Like that, it matters. So
amen.
But
hey, listen.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this here. So, because I know Chris has got to go to bed pretty soon, and we can maybe hammer out some logistics, and maybe one day soon we can update everybody on how that all goes.
There we go.
Good. Sounds good.
Bit of a cliffhanger.
I appreciate the offer. That's very gracious of you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for listening, folks. Hope you enjoy Screen Puff 4.0.
Shit. Good night.